The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
Solid Snake, would you like to play with my chickens? Solid Snake.
Otacon, what the fuck is this Venom talking to? I'm doing a symbiote. Damn it! I fucked up.
Okay, don't worry.
I tried to say alien and I fucked up.
Let me get some water quickly. Let me get some. Okay, hang on. Wait.
Hello there, Solid Snake. We are Venom. How are we doing today?
Otacon, I think this alien is drunk.
I'm not drunk. We are not drunk. There is a delicious turkey on the table, and I will eat that instead of the person next to me.
We should probably clean up our Christmas tree by now, don't you think?
That turkey's
Yes,
in there for a
Cyrus, why have you not changed from the Christmas theme, you lazy
no.
bum?
Look. I was in charge of redecorating everything, and I fucked up. It's okay. It's all right.
What do we pay you for?
So anyway, that's how I lost my job at the glue factory. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Sunset City, the Sonic podcast for the classic and modern age. Thank you guys so much for being here. Okay, you're first. Tell us what's up, pup.
Hello.
Okay, I'm gonna stop that now. Hi everybody, good to be back. And of course, over in the middle-ish, on at least one side, depending on how you're looking at it, I have our favorite green boy, the Hulk. I mean, game apologist.
Or were you expecting him to get mad or something?
Is he choking? No, it's funny because who fed him cheese again? He's choking.
That is all I'm gonna say. Oh shit! I already ruined it. Hello, everybody.
Hi. Nick. Welcome to the show.
You welcome to the show.
You
piece of shit.
Look at you. We spent a hiatus so I didn't have to see your fucking face.
God,
You still don't see my face.
It's true. I miss it.
This is
Eyes are up here, buddy.
And of course, we have our favorite cat girl who I am apparently incapable of drawing when I'm not getting paid for it, Cyrus.
No, you don't.
What? I think my nose is bleeding from doing that voice.
Anyways,
were you doing the voice through your nose? Why is your nose bleeding?
It has an effect. You have to kind of cut off the nose passage. Anyway,
wait, what?
Wayne, introduce yourself. I might need to get a tissue in a bit though. Your Venom voice is powerless on me, you silly Billy.
Shut up, Wayne.
What the fuck is going on?
Oh my god! Oh god, I forgot he owns our asses now.
Why do you not allow me into the MCU, Mickey?
Hi, control all.
Who's actually in this show? Have we finished that yet?
Oh, and I'm here. I'm Wayne. Hi.
There we go.
Hi. What's up, guys? Good to have you back. Been a little while since we've been on. A lot of us got really we got tied up with stuff over the holidays. We were trying to figure out scheduling things due to Pups just got classes, trying to further his fucking education or whatever. It's not just that, I also have a job. And you have a job. I also, same thing on my end. And it was also just like, especially over the holidays, we needed the time to just kind of like enjoy the festivities and all of that stuff. I think we planned on doing a little bit more on stream, and we were just like, God, I know I, for one, was just feeling a huge rush of just exhaustion from everything happening retail-wise. But things are getting better now. We're back on track. How are you guys feeling? If I cut into this turkey, there'll just be a cascade of mold. Just
yes.
I was hoping for spiders. It's fit for the French.
It's not going to be a cascade. You're gonna cut into it. It's going to be a smoke bomb. It's going to poof.
It's going to be a bunch of maggots, and therefore even more protein than it originally had.
Oh, delicious!
So slimy, we've got yet satisfying.
We've got one super chat already, and just the same disclosure as usual. We read a few super chats at the beginning, but most of them are read at the end. So Sony is already in with the $5 Canadian. Liking Zavok and the Zeti is an unapologetic pleasure of mine. No guilt in my soul.
You should probably check out my next video. It's going to be out on Monday.
He's
for
already
everybody.
at it with the self promotion. You see in this?
Yep, that's right. That is our entire life. That's how it goes.
Did you guys know that I have a YouTube channel?
I didn't.
Anyways,
what are you talking about?
Fast forward this bit.
Is that an editor's note to yourself?
No, just can we get to the topic, please?
Well, I mean, we got some stuff to talk
But
about.
edging
and
about it is a guilty pleasure.
I hate edging.
So here's the thing: when it comes to Sonic, you can tell when there's like a slow news day because you could tell that Twitter just gets mad at random things.
Yeah,
when there's no new Sonic news.
Okay.
I think we all have different things to discuss. Cyrus, you want to go for the more game related angry things I've been seeing?
Okay, so people have been comparing screenshots on Twitter between the breadcrumb, not even breadcrumbs, the dust of breadcrumbs we've gotten from Sonic Frontiers stuff, and comparing it to screenshots of stuff like Lost World to show that we are using maybe not the exact same model, but certainly a model with the exact same proportions as the Lost World and Forces Sonic model. And people are getting very upset about this for some reason. This is like, I understand that the Generations model has better proportions, it has longer spikes, and that's nice and all, but like, this is one of those weird things that had no business blowing up the way that it did. And yet, all the discourse on Sonic Twitter right now is about his quilly dick, or his dick's quills, or just quills.
And it's like on one level, I can kind of understand where disappointment would come from, because I think I've aired my grievances with the current Sonic model myself. I don't hate it. I just think it's kind of meh. It's too clean. And it's just like, it feels a little by the numbers. I would prefer something that doesn't look so basic, but I'm also not upset about it.
I think my biggest thing is that, like, a lot of people have residual hatred from Forces, and I understand that. But the majority of the problems with that model, like, yeah, again, the proportions are not perfect, but the majority of problems with that model were never the model itself. They were the ways in which it was utilized in Forces. The fact that there's no idle animations, Sonic doesn't blink, like, they literally just plopped the model in the engine like a bad Unity fan game and did nothing else with it. Those were the issues with that model back in Forces. It was not the model itself, but people have conflated one over the other, and now Sonic Twitter is what it is.
Like, my verdict on it is it's death by association, for starters. And I'm going to kind of give some positive points and a few negative points, I guess. I think the sheer magnitude of the backlash, which it's not that much, but it's weird how much there is. The magnitude of it, I think, comes from the fact that this was used in Sonic Forces. And Sonic fans, I implore you, please, 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 please stop throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because Sega are never going to know what you want if you keep doing that, if you keep having this death by association mentality. But on the other hand, like, I'm also going to... No, not on the other hand yet. I'm going to say the Forces model is a nice model. Like, the way it's built and everything, it is nice. It's not my favorite, but it is a well-made Sonic model. And the main problem, as Cyrus said, was its lack of animations, and the animations it did have were pretty basic and stiff. And like, it matters not what the model is, but how it's animated. Because remember, in theory, it's the same design as what we saw in like the Sonic Unleashed CGI cutscenes, effectively.
Yeah. And like we've seen some stuff on this with like people comparing it to the movie model and saying like, but the movie model definitely mattered. Like, yeah, but there's a difference here. Like this model's design is not that far off from like an expected good Sonic model design. The movie design was way far off.
It's a completely different thing. And like, the thing I will say is, yeah, I do prefer like the Generations look where he's got the longer quills, but I see it as a trivial thing ultimately. Sonic looks like Sonic, and that's fine by me. His colors here look nicer than they did in Forces, at least, but that could just be the lighting. But the overall bottom line is, I guess it's kind of annoying that the CGI footage in the trailers shows that more slick-looking Sonic that we kind of saw in Generations and stuff, whereas the in-game model is back to the short quills. This could still just be a placeholder for all we know.
I don't think it would be a placeholder because we're supposed to be getting this game in 2022, right? We're supposed to be getting it this year. So
yes, but it might be like at the last minute they make his quills a little longer. I don't think it
No.
would take that long to change.
No, I it's not that I disagree that they couldn't. I agree with you 100%, Pup. But remember the last time we said, "Oh, but at the last second they'll definitely do X with the color sport."
Different developer, to be fair, though.
Different developer, to be fair, but same oversight.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, they did patch things, though.
They did eventually, and I'm happy that colors did eventually get patches, but that is also like the expected trajectory of games nowadays, though. So like I am happy that it happened, but I don't give gold stars that it did.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I guess, one way they could quash any argument is allow us to choose skins.
That would be amazing. Let us have the Generations model. Let us have the Forces model. Maybe even give us some low poly Adventure 1 and 2 models that we can bounce between.
Classic Sonic,
Sonic,
obviously.
Saturn model.
A Sonic, yeah. Give
Yes,
us
please.
give us the model from Sonic Jam.
If
That'd
they
be
give us if they were to give us Boom or Movie Sonic, those would be my two mains.
It'd be right up there for me with like I think I've compared sort of like a base rumor of what we can expect of shit, what's it called?
Frontiers.
That one. To Mario Odyssey. And Mario Odyssey also did a lot of like outfits and everything, and they had like a low poly like N64 style Mario, and I was super excited to see that. I would love to see something like that for Sonic.
Basically, Sega copy Nintendo, but don't copy Nintendo too much.
I mean, let's be real. The era of Sonic being a boundary pusher or a trailblazer or a trendsetter in any sense of the phrase is long past. They might as well just try to do something similar.
Take what's good, but keep it Sonic. Don't go full Lost World, but certainly take what's good and make it Sonic.
Yeah.
Blaze the trails, make it good. This shouldn't be difficult.
I think the entire debate is fucking stupid. I have not been participating. I've been embarrassed by fellow content creators on Twitter. I think everyone's being fucking idiots. It is the stupidest fucking thing I've seen in a while. Everyone wants us to tell us to wait until see if this is like Breath of the Wild or not. Fine.
Yeah.
Wait till you see him fucking move. For God's sakes.
Yeah, I'm like,
That is
dude,
a point.
Like what is the priority here? Like, do you want longer quills? Do you need him to be completely reanimated? Do you want the game to come out? If they pause everything to completely redesign his model, then people will start whining that the game's delayed. Like, there's no winning. Like, I'm already distrustful of this game. I'm trying to be a little bit more positive about it coming out. But until you get something more than 2 fucking dismal screenshots of his back, wait a goddamn minute. For fuck's sake.
and like I said in our group chat, it doesn't matter how long his quills are. What matters is how he uses them.
What matters is how big his dick is.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, I do not like how Sonic's model looks in the DX version of Adventure. I don't. But I'm not going to say that I care when I'm running through that game as fast as I am. I care in cutscenes.
It's no deal breaker. I mean, here's the thing. This all takes me back to I remember in like the 2010s there was this troll YouTuber called like Mario Teplummer, and basically he would start every review by being like, "Okay, I'm gonna review this fucking game, and we'll start with the most important thing." The character design. They used the fucking green-eyed Sonic, and I wanted the black-eyed Sonic. He later outed himself as a troll, but everyone in the comments was like, "You sad fuck, why do you care so much about what color Sonic's eyes are?" The length of the quills, I feel like it's even more trivial than the green-eye, black-eye thing. I mean, if the quills were, like, ridiculously short, I could kind of understand, but, like, by no means is this really bad. Like, my only complaint with that model in Forces, really, was ultimately, like, they'd made little changes to make him resemble classic Sonic a bit more, which I felt were redundant in a game that has classic Sonic in it. But I never at any point
complain about 3DS generations. But go ahead, sorry, Papa.
Oh no, I made that fucking complaint. Absolutely.
I think we all did.
The bottom line is, I don't think the model was by any stretch bad. It didn't wow anyone in Generations. I would love it if we saw a Sonic game in the future that has Sonic with a beautiful new model that's just like in the fucking Mars Animation Planet cutscenes, and it's got these really pristine new animations. I'd love that. But like right now, I'm not gonna fucking complain that it's a Sonic looking like Sonic, you know?
It is just so fucking low on my list of things to worry about with this game, man. I don't care. I do have to say though, Mark Flynn released a video about 3 weeks ago, just talking about his just his analysis of the Frontiers trailer, and I pretty much agreed with everything he said, because he's very nuanced about it. Like, yeah, they're clearly trying to get vibes of Breath of the Wild, whether you like it or not. That's what's happening there. But
it's not a criticism.
No, it's not a criticism. like we all agree on, whether or not we agree with that point is like we should probably wait and see what else they have.
Yeah.
But like his point about the model that he saw was like it just doesn't really fit with the aesthetic going on there, and like if they're trying to go for a more realistic one, like maybe take a little bit more from the movie design, not so much like, you know, like the two eyes or blue arms or anything like that, but like, you know,
just the texture,
change up the texture. Maybe? Yeah, like stuff like that. Like if you want a more realistic Sonic and you want a bold new direction, like yeah, do subtle changes like that. And I agree with that point. And I think ultimately what people are trying to say is, and I do agree with this point to a point, is like they're worried not enough is changing from what's come squeakies from what's come before. And I get it. I do get that to a point, but like seeing people on Twitter just completely lose their shit over just the most minute things it's exhausting, man. It's just, and I know people get sick of me saying this, but every now and then it's like, play another fucking video game, for fuck's sake.
There's some great games out there, man. There's some great games out there that work off of the tone and feeling of Sonic.
I think Colors Ultimate also kind of gave me ideas. Like when I saw the little movie Sonic cosmetics, it kind of made me think
that
it would be awesome if, like, when Sonic reaches his top speed, if he got like those movie Sonic cosmetics, like his quills start glowing blue and stuff. Like I think that would be a lot cooler than him just having it standing still. I'll say that, but like,
yeah,
I've always kind of thought like have like an indicator, like a visual indicator to show us when Sonic is at top speed, and like that would be a perfect way of doing it, is having that glowing quill kind of look. But also I think like the bottom line is like, I think it is fair to criticize already some of the stuff that Frontiers looks to be doing. Like, for example, the Breath of the Wild inspiration. Like, we, in a previous podcast, we kind of said, you know, like, well, some of us anyway kind of were of the opinion is like, we missed the days when Sonic was definitely blazing his own trails and stuff. And it's kind of sad to see that he's still kind of hugging onto like Nintendo concepts. And a lot of people jump down our throats for that. And yet people are complaining about his quill length now. And it's just, I think the bottom line is Sonic fans could just afford to be a little nicer to each other.
And a part of it is also just like, if you ever want like your opinions or your outcries or like your criticisms to be taken seriously, I mean, it can't be spending this much time and energy on something so fruitless.
It's so I guess the thing is, what I'm trying to say is though, like, if they have a point, we're not going to see it this early on. If there is something to be said about how the model looks, we need a gameplay trailer, and like then I'll be like, okay, yeah, you guys are right. But
if he's still got the same like animations as Forces, okay, there's a point to be made there.
Yeah,
but, like right now he's just standing still. Let's just wait and see.
And it's the unfortunate thing that's going to happen. If it turns out that the animations are the exact same, then we're going to have this lovely feedback loop that happens where the community members that freaked out about the model will then go, see, we were right to freak out. They're not going to notice that, no, you may be correct that it turned out badly, but you were not correct to freak out. You didn't have enough information to.
Some people have no grasp in the difference between true belief and justified true belief.
Just because you're correct doesn't mean you're right.
I'm going to be honest. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of fucking talking about it right now.
Well, shall we move on to the main topic?
Nope. I got more
okay.
things to complain about. And
Right,
I know
let's do it.
we had like a very interesting debate back and forth in our private chat about it. And this is something we should probably wait till we pick apart on a larger subject. But I've also noticed like a lot of hatred for Ken Penders as of late again. And I get why that happens, but also at the same time, like, and I mentioned this to you guys, I'm starting to feel a little bit gross about it.
About the community's response to Ken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting a little bit ridiculous, but that's kind of inspired me to do more research again into the legal battles and stuff like that. And it's always the same thing for me. Like, if I read too much on one thing, I'm like, you guys need to chill the fuck out. And the other part of me is like, Ken, you're a fucking asshole. Like, it goes both ways every time, dude. It is very interesting.
It is, and Pup brought up a good point, and it's like something that I keep thinking back on. It's like it's also hard to feel that bad for the guy when he keeps poking a bear and just getting mad that it's mauling him. You know,
My overall bottom line was like, a person might deserve to get mauled by a bear, but that doesn't make the bear right for mauling them.
yeah.
That's my kind of verdict on the Ken Penders thing. I think he brings all of the ridicule on himself, but people ultimately have a responsibility to be better. And if they do think they have a nuanced point to make the fucking point, make it nuanced. But like, I think if you're just going out of your way to throw bile at the guy, it's only going to make him more embittered. And ultimately, it's a waste of time. He's not going to change because someone said he's a fucking idiot.
And not to mention, because Sonic is a series that appeals to a younger audience in general, you get new fans who get newly introduced to like everything that went on with Archie. You get new fans who are introduced to the surface level stuff that happened with Ken. So even by the time that your older fans, not all of them back off, but some of them back off, you've got a whole new slew of young fans who come in ready to start fighting with the punching bag again. And it's a cycle that will keep repeating.
Yeah, and like I talked about with you guys already, it's just clear to me that people are looking for a reason just to be bullies more than anything else, and I don't like that. I think
At the
that's
same
gross.
time as well, Ken, eat some fucking humble pie, close your Twitter account.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I get
That's
that.
the healthy thing to do.
Like, I really don't know why he's on Twitter at all.
It's
But,
not healthy for him.
He just fascinates me on so many levels. But again, like, and I'm not trying to call out names, but like I had some debates with a couple of more prominent Sonic tubers, as it were, and like I just wanted to be like, look, guys, if you want to be like voices of the community, like if you hold yourselves up like in that light, what are you doing?
100%.
It's just like, because I said this on Twitter. You can go find it if you want. It was like do a little reading. Like, that's all I'm asking anybody to do. Like, if you want to critique the guy, fine, but understand what you're critiquing, because you're incorrect about this, and this. And if you want to say he's not answering to this, and this, I'm like, well, he has. Like, how many times do you expect him to answer the same question? Do a little digging. Ask a question like a normal, polite, adult human being, and maybe you'll get an answer. And yes, it's gross. He is an asshole, and Certified might have a point here. He might just want the attention too.
Yeah.
That could very well be and I feel gross trying to defend somebody I think is not a very good person, if I'm honest. But yeah, like, ultimately, what are Sonic fans mad about? Like, boil it down to that. What are you angry about? Because most of you did not read Archie, and most of you do not like his characters or even know which ones they are. Sega owns the Freedom Fighters. Sega technically owns Shade. That conversation was thrown out of court 3 separate times. It is on them to bring some of these more prominent characters back.
I mean,
And
the
they
truth
just
be
don't
told,
do it.
like they have a legal department that get paid to do this. So, like, if you're out there trying to be Sega's legal department and you're not getting paid for it, you're a schmuck.
Yeah.
There's also a point in the chat that I just wanted to make a quick counter to, which is Demetrius NP says Sonic tubers are not the preachers of Sonic, and I get what you're saying there, but ultimately, when it comes to bigger Sonic channels or ones with a certain following and stuff, I hate using the term influencer, but it's absolutely correct. When you've got younger people in your audience or people that are newcomers to the franchise, the way you treat others and stuff will influence that.
And
if
yeah.
Sorry, go on, Wayne.
Oh, no. Like, just to kind of echo your point there isn't a prominent influence there. It affects the way that people in that community, people who watch them and listen to them, or just enjoy the franchise in general, that has a domino effect. And it might go far beyond the fandom of that particular content creator, but it will still stay in the Sonic circles, just because, it gained that much traction. Like, it does keep going. It doesn't just dissipate because you're wrong. I don't know if you guys ever watch Your Movie Sucks.
Oh yeah, I watch him sometimes.
He did a fascinating, very long video once about Kimba the White Lion. Yeah, that was a fascinating take. I remember there were a bunch of articles and everything going around proclaiming that the Lion King had allegedly ripped off of Kimba the White Lion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great video. I was not aware of that until he said something.
Also,
it was
though,
incredible watching him debunk that. Sorry, go ahead.
Also, like, if you want to really know how much, like, the whole influencer thing, how far that goes, nothing personal against the guy. I'm not going to hold this against him because he didn't realize that he was going to do this. But, like, look how much the Spider-Man community's attitudes towards MCU Spider-Man changed after High Top Films started talking about it.
I'm gonna.
It did change things.
I'm gonna. Oh no, we're halting everything, and I'm gonna call out Rhino, buddy. I appreciate you being here every single week, but like, I'm gonna have to put you on the podium here for a second, because this pissed me right the fuck off. The problem with all of this argument is, why shouldn't we? He is pretty much indefensible unless you are anti-comic industry standard. No, my entire point is, we need to be better than being bullies, being better than just trying to be mad at somebody for the sake of being mad at somebody. I'm trying to say, like, be better than a mob standard. Put your pitchforks and torches down. That shit is disgusting to me. And at the end of the day, what has he actually done to you? Genuinely, what has he done to you? You guys do not care about his work. He is kind of an asshole, but you do not care about the stuff he's actually made changes to. You don't. Like, the actual comic fans either like his work and want to see more of his work, or they like Ian Flynn's stuff, and like Ian Flynn, they've kind of moved on, or they figured out clever ways to use their concepts and reincorporate it back into that stuff. The people that made those stories are doing fucking fine. Like, it doesn't matter whether or not he's an asshole or not. My entire problem is just seeing this community that I'm a part of act like this. It is disgusting to me. That is why we shouldn't. Not for his sake, but for all of our sake. Just to be a better human being. That is my problem. That's why I don't like putting people... I don't know, man. Like, this is why we don't really talk about penders or anything all that often, because these are real human beings.
Also, sorry, Rhino also just responded by saying he got a comic I like cancelled. Is it worth selling all your dignity for that?
He did not get the comic canceled.
Yeah, also just
that went for that went for 3 years after the lawsuit.
As I've said, just because a person deserves ridicule, it doesn't make it right to ridicule them.
And it also still matters where the ridicule is legitimately coming from, because it's like, we can have all the justification in the world, but at the end of the day, if we're spouting stuff about comic industry ethics, about stuff like that, and we are still coming at it from a point of, we just want to lay out our vitriol onto somebody because we can justify it through some kind of means, I think that's kind of slimy in and of itself. You're using people in that industry that have been victimized through the poor practices in it as an excuse to just be a shitty person.
Not to mention,
Yeah.
I understand that like Michael Gallagher and other people worked on the comics. Nobody's pretending, not once right now, has anybody pretended that it was only Ian and Penders and some sibling rivalry shit where the comics is concerned. Nobody's pretended that. Bringing up that point is inconsequential and insubstantial. We are asking you and other people in the community to be better people. That's all we're asking. And it shouldn't be such a hard ask. And yet somehow, here we are living in the world that you and I are sharing oxygen in, where asking not to be a bully on the internet is met with, but you got a comic I liked canceled. Dude, what kind of petty nonsense?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's-
touch grass outside. It feels amazing.
And it's just, yeah, that, I guess that's what it comes down to, though, right? Like, because Penders is an ass. Like, there's no two ways around that. I don't disagree with a lot of the points people have problems with him with. It's the matter of, like, if we've gone so far, like, where I've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, guys, like, you're even making me kind of feel gross about Ken Penders, like, then we need to step the fuck back. It's just gross, and we need to move on. It has been a decade.
And
I think it's interesting, like, the topic of the lawsuits and everything like that. And I think like me and Circe are going to pick apart those things. I'll make a video on it. We'll discuss it further in live streams. I don't want to spend too long on it.
I actually have the
But-
Pacer system up right now. I just logged into it, so I'm prepped for that.
Awesome. But
Basically,
be better.
Sonic
And-
fans, your father lived by a philosophy, a principle, really. He believed that if you could do good things for other people, then you had a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here. Not choice, responsibility.
yeah, and I guess to just kind of sum up my point, it's just like I'm certainly not sitting here saying that Ken Penders doesn't bear responsibility for some things, and he does deserve some ridicule. He does deserve some criticism. However, it's not like he isn't already getting that. Right now in this conversation, we're just saying it's kind of the turn of the people that have cranked this up to 11 and taken it past that point of reason. It's like you can try to hold people accountable all day long. It doesn't mean much if you can't do that to yourself as well.
Yeah, and
Also, how people compose themselves on Twitter, and like this applies to Ken Penders as well. How people compose themselves on Twitter can differ from what they're actually like. It might be a chance that Ken Penders' Twitter doesn't represent him very well. It's like a shout out to our good friend Stuart Jip. You post the worst shit on Twitter I've ever seen, but you're an absolute cupcake of a person to talk to, and I love you with all of my heart and soul.
like in
I
private,
want to
like
get him back
I like
on.
Stuart.
Like,
But-
I love
I'll be
Stuart.
honest. I've been having a challenge trying to do like a Balan Wonderworld like game apologist episode because that is going to happen. I need to talk with him because wow, wow,
fucking
I'm gonna have to play this
that
game,
article,
aren't I?
dude. Holy shit! No, you don't.
Stuart,
really don't.
Stuart is fucking insane. I love him. I
Stuart is a
absolutely love him.
madman. I love him, dude. I can't. Yeah, he wanted to be back on. I want to get him back on. He is a lot of fun. But yeah, that's a beautiful point, Pup. That is an absolutely beautiful point. Like, I really think we need to all of us get the fuck over like these opinions people have or everything. And like, yeah, if Ken Penders is an asshole, don't be an asshole. Like, don't give him shit and then act the exact same way. That's unhealthy. And like, and I know like I made an entire YouTube career out of the IGN Game Scoop stuff. And I don't think I've said this on air before. Did I say this on air or was it a live stream, Wayne?
Oh.
Where I was like, I first heard that because I listened to Game Scoop every week. That's how I first heard it. I didn't get that out of context. I
Wait,
got that because I listened to those guys. And I still like the guy who originally said Sonic was never good.
yeah.
I adore him. I think he's hilarious. I love his show, The Comedy Button. I like his work on IGN. I like him more than just him disliking Sonic the Hedgehog because people are bigger than what they like and don't like in video games, man. Like, I don't think any of the four of us agree on a lot of stuff in the Sonic just bubble to begin with. Like, we
Oh,
debate
we'll
back
get
and
into
forth all
that
the
today.
time. But you know, like, be better. Take some time to learn about people and you might be surprised what you find. It's I don't know. That's it.
Also,
That's
I
my whole
can't
point.
I cannot believe that we're having to tell grown adults that 2 wrongs don't make it right.
You would think that would be a very hard thing for people to understand. Points to about 1,000 episodes on my channel where I'm doing exactly that half the fucking time.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I do think that's as much as we can say on the matter right now. Nick and Cirrus, I know you guys are doing some fascinating work, trying to get some stuff put together there. I'm really interested to see how that turns out. I think it's probably one of the more logical ways to look at this whole scenario.
Yeah.
I do think for now we should probably move on to another topic, though.
Yeah, I have like it's if you can't tell, like a lot of this has been boiling in my guts all week because it's either been Quills or it's been Pender's characters, and then it devolved into like hatred on other Sonic characters. Sally specifically, I think that's because somebody made like this claim that Americans made Knuckles, which was a hideous take, but
Oh, that was fucking hilarious. I remember somebody responding to that saying like this fact is so obscure that it's not even true.
And so would you say that the drama boils down to Quills pending?
God damn it.
Why are you like? Why are you?
Sir, I'm gonna come over there and put mayonnaise in your shampoo.
Oh God. Yeah, but
Rhino, have a good take in the chat challenge. Had to say it.
I think
he's still
I think
going.
I-
He's still going.
I'm gonna.
I mean, to be fair, I did put him on blast, so I understand, Rhino, why you think it turned into more than just you, but it was answering the question, why shouldn't we? That's why.
Yeah.
I will quote my editor Cherry. Somebody here has a very very hard case of contrarian brain,
Well, that's
and
enough
that's as
about,
far as I'll
that's-
go.
Yeah, we'll move along from that because we don't want to just end up dogpiling.
No, there's
Yeah.
no point.
I don't want to be the person I just like, hey, let me call it a person and then say don't. Yeah, no, I'm being a complete hypocrite.
I mean,
so-
to be fair,
That's fine.
it's not like you're saying you fucking fat virgin asshole. Like, no, you're not doing that kind of stuff.
Jesus Christ, dude.
So,
Man, we got to get off the internet.
I'm officially closing down my Twitter.
I'm canceling
But,
us.
So, guilty Sonic pledges.
Yeah.
I mean, Wayne, I thought other people would get to it, but Wayne, do you want to say what we both kind of came across ourselves?
Are we talking about the same soundtrack here?
No, I wasn't talking soundtrack. I guess
Or is it the other thing I mentioned in the chat today?
Yeah, no, my guilty pleasure is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh,
In
right,
general.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
in general, it's Sonic.
In general, like I'm sorry guys, but again, like I'm now in my 30s and trying to explain when I'm leaving my job at a fucking hotel as a manager to be like, "Oh my god, like what are you going to do? I'm going to go on YouTube." Oh, you do a YouTube channel? What do you talk about? I mean, video game essays. I do video game essays a lot of the time. Oh yeah, like go like Call of Duty.
No.
Well, no.
Blue Mario.
I want to talk. I want to talk about a lot of stuff, but
Well, it's kind of like Call of
mostly-
Duty, but
mostly Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, I'll tell my son about your channel. Please don't.
Please don't.
Please don't tell your 7-year-old son about my channel. Don't do that. How old's your kid? Oh God, my friends and coworkers now have children. Oh fuck. Oh no.
The existential
my
dread
channel.
starts kicking
Yeah.
in.
that's
They're
wonderful. That's
just-
it.
It's just like it is so. Like when you bring this into the real world, you have to talk with other human beings that you work with, and it's outside of your normal setting. Like when you hop outside of the Sonic bubble, Sonic immediately is embarrassing. I'm sorry.
No, it can be. I did, just to give this a little bit of intro, something that we thought would be kind of fun today is I believe somebody brought this up on Twitter when we were asking for suggestions about what we would be talking about today. And something that we all just kind of latched onto because we thought it'd be kind of fun is what are our guilty pleasures in the Sonic franchise? Just the little things where looking on it as a whole, we can kind of admit that when we put all of this together in a blender, it's not great. But it's got those little things about it that we love so much that we're able to look past everything else and just admire it for ourselves, even if we can't exactly justify it. So I think we had like what, 3 things each?
We had 3 things each.
am-
We might end up doing 2 things each. Depends on time.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. We had to come up with 3. I wanted to say, I have no guilty pleasures. I feel guilt over nothing.
I knew you were going to. I got in my
Yep.
car like to come back from my shop to come here today. I'm like, Pup doesn't have guilty pleasures. He doesn't feel guilt. He's-
Life is too short for me to feel guilty over the shit I like, okay? But I'm gonna write down 3 guilty pleasures now.
I admire that about you, Pup.
My guilty pleasure is acknowledging that I have a guilty pleasure, I guess.
I don't think there's any problem with a little self-awareness when you're out and about in the world. That's my point.
So
Self-awareness is a direct contrast to self-confidence in some cases.
no, it's really not.
It's
And I'm trying to
really
get a
not.
new GF.
Pup, Pup, here's the thing, buddy. All right. Both of us dressed like Spider-Man for Halloween.
That's good.
One of us technically ripped apart the woman who was hitting on them, directly hit on them. The other of us got laid. So sort it out.
Whoa, whoa,
Oh, that is quite,
whoa.
that is quite a thing to bring up. Okay.
I'm gonna honestly, you know what? I was gonna say
I
what my
can't
guilty
know
pleasure
she-
is. Now
I have
I'm
no way of knowing she was hitting on me.
I'm just saying, you did too, dude.
She
too.
might not have been. She might have just been goofing around.
For fuck's sake, the goofing
know.
around. Let it. It's the
so you
God.
goof around to dinner, and then
You
you
goof
goof
around
around to
in
the
the bed.
movies, and then
Wait
you
a minute,
goof around
hang
in
on.
the bed.
You mean to tell me you had sex in real life? Oh
Then
my
you goof around in each other's pants.
Well, that was definitely a low blow. Like talk of self-confidence, motherfucker. I'll take you self-confidence. Like a onesie, Spider-Man onesie. I don't give a shit. Get
Yeah,
out of
it's
here with
because
that.
look, you got to acknowledge a few factors. Okay, you were dressed as symbiote Spider-Man, black, slimming, nice. Okay, I was dressed as fucking wrestler Spider-Man. Okay, that's a
Yeah,
goofy
and wrestler
fucking
Spider-Man is wrestling
It's
Spider-Man
goofy
is
as fuck.
brimming with self-confidence.
I'm playing.
I have to tell you a story.
Oh
Oh.
no! I don't know if I want to hear this.
You don't. It's not. I'm gonna tell it.
Organic webbing.
Oh no!
Well, I was
No,
going-
no,
Let's just
no.
say that they had some
was going-
symbiosis.
So I was going with some friends to a Halloween party, and I was already just dressed like, top to bottom, in that. And I walked into this gas station, and this larger woman who's working, she was like, "Hey, turn yourself around." Like, what do you mean? Like, just do like, and then she did like do the spin, so she would take a look at my ass, and she's like, "Hmm."
Oh my god!
God.
That is
So-
America's
so any-
ass.
That is Sunset City's ass. Okay, so anyway, a subject that isn't this.
Who wants to start? Because I know mine.
I did mine. I literally did one. I wasn't kidding.
Oh, shut up.
Well, I will say there have been a couple of situations. I have 3 that aren't that. I mostly thought that was just funny, but it is also like I've been messing around in SimVR chat recently, so it's like the first time in a while where I've just like started talking to a bunch of strangers. Shout out, by the way, to the one person I ran into that was apparently a fan of the show. Hey, how's it going? It was really fun
That
meeting
didn't
you.
happen. That's not a true story.
That actually
Shut up.
happened. I was
You're
really
lying.
surprised.
You lie.
Dude,
And
I
it was
went
like-
on there. You went on there, and there was a kid, and they were like, "Who are you?" And you're like, "I'm Wayne's boss." And then they were like, "Hey, Wayne's
What the
boss!"
fuck
And then
is
they
that
flashed
voice?
it down the microphone, and you
That
got a
is
little aroused
not
by
me.
it because you're going to fucking jail, Wayne. Okay?
It was a fun experience. I was
I'm sorry.
hanging out with
Is that what fucking Prince Andrew will be saying in court as well?
Oh my god.
Okay, come on. We're not gonna fucking Epstein Wayne here.
Oh no,
I
it
mean,
was
Wayne's the one that's been Epsteining people in VR chat. What's the name
I-
of your little hub
Oh,
lobby? Epstein's
no.
Island.
Oh no!
He's going to
was-
Knuckles Island every day.
But
Fucking
like, it's,
harvesting that adrenochrome, you dirty bastard.
Don't
Look-
turn such a wholesome interaction into this. I hate
This turns so dark.
look, here's the thing about the guilty pleasures. Like, yes, it was a joke, but like, genuinely and honestly, the only time I'm actually embarrassed or feeling like it's a guilty pleasure or anything is having to explain my job to other people in the real world, even other YouTubers, because like it sucks being pigeonholed into just being just the guy, because unfortunately, people just assume, like other creators, just assume I don't play other Sega games or other video games in general. I'm like, I study this. I study this on a wide scale. Fuck you. My other things matter. But yeah, like, and unfortunately, guilty pleasures, in a wide blanket statement, sometimes it is Sonic the Hedgehog, and that is an honest, genuine feeling I have. There is a slight bit of embarrassment on occasion. So there you go.
I mean, yeah, that was a thing when I was discussing my schedule with my new workplace. I was like, is there any chance we can still keep Fridays kind of cleared up? And they were like, yeah, no, absolutely. But why is that? I was like, oh, I got a podcast I do on Fridays. Oh, really? What's it about? I was gaming.
Dude, on that note, every fucking time that I explain, so it's whenever somebody asks what I do on YouTube, I go through like all the stuff that I do. And by the time I hit to Sunset City, they're like, I can't believe that there's that much to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. Every time it is
Do
the
they not have
exact.
more comments about your fucking avatar though? Because
Oh,
I feel
that-
like that.
I was gonna say, like, he slaps tits on himself and Sonic's was
I had a hard time explaining you to my sister.
So here's it. You know what? On that note, Pup. One of my favorite things whenever I go play Magic at the card shops, because I go to a few, I actually have a mat that I play on that has my character on it, and I actually had somebody look at the character and go, "Oh, who's the waifu?" I just went, "Oh, that's me," and just like the pause. The pause is wonderful.
But you know what's
the
funny
short
is-
circuit in the brain.
No, but my reaction there was quite delayed because, like, well, yeah, it's just Cirrus, isn't it? I was like, hang on a minute, though. If you actually know Cirrus and see him in person, and it's like, oh yeah, hang on a minute.
I am always thrown off when I like see your guys' actual faces. Like,
Because the only one of us that looks like their character is you and Nick.
yeah,
I mean, I
Well,
looked like this 5 years ago. I don't look like that anymore.
Well, yeah, because you got
I
a
also
beard
feel
now.
old
You're a
in 5
man
years
now.
from when
You
I
were a
made
kid
it.
then.
Now you're a boy. You were a boy, now you're a man. Got some hair on that
I,
shit.
don't know,
man.
I think I look a little bit like my avatar. I don't know.
He's a man now because of Fox Die.
Similar
Yeah.
overall height.
I don't look too much like my avatar right now, mostly because like oh well, I shouldn't spoil it before the next video is going to be a funny
Oh, did you
joke,
shave
but
your head again?
Dude, you know what we need to do for
Not
next week's
as
episode?
not as down.
I'm
to
very
the
worried that
scalp
he hears
this
shaved
time,
head and
but
then he thinks, "What should we do for next week's episode?"
No, I had an idea. We
moisturize it. That's what.
Okay, but homework, guys. We've got to create accurate avatars to ourselves and have them around the table next week.
I have one.
Shut
this.
up! It's you realistic.
I'll just
I-
grab my
I-
old avatar. Easy.
Your head is not a little squished marshmallow. It's a beautiful, defined thing. Okay, Wayne.
I'm really not in the look, man. It's gonna go from Ben Ted comparisons to Tobey Maguire ones. I'm not in the mood
And-
for it.
Well, Tobey Maguire
And
combined with Eminem.
moreover, I think the other homework we should be worrying about is the fucking comics.
We're not doing the
Oh,
comics
yeah.
next week. We're doing the S3K thing next
I'm not
week.
talking about next week. I'm talking about in general.
I mean, just
Yeah.
as a Sonic podcast, we should
I can't
probably be
read.
staying on top of the most.
I can't read.
Hi, I can't read. Oh, wait, that's
reminds
not how
me.
that joke works.
That reminds me. So, I'm releasing the Sonic speed reading on Bad Guys later today for patrons and Monday for everybody else. And I posted one of the I'm gonna have in there because I did a quick Photoshop of Zavik consoling a woman as she's going through a breakup. I posted it on Twitter, and this just makes me so happy because I woke up today with a notification from Ian Flynn who said, "I love this." It made me
Dude.
so happy.
My
Oh, Smacko, you need to change your profile picture. I completely forgot. Like, that's just not okay.
Yep, the police. We called the police like 4 weeks
Who-
ago. They'll be there any minute.
Who did we give that to again? Who won that?
I don't remember.
It was a
Echo?
guy though. It was a dude with a cool name.
No.
It wasn't
We
Echo.
it was to our top contributor, right?
It was, yeah. Who was it again though? I can't believe I forgot.
I'm so
his
bad at
name.
remembering names because
God, we've been
they've
far
done it on more than one episode before, where they've just
I
given
feel
us
like
a
we're
lot of
awful.
money.
We're now awful people.
It's been a month
get
since we've been on,
so
to be fair.
Confused. Ink is like saying like I look like the fan art of Toby as Peter B. Parker. Like, why does everybody think I have a long face? Like they compare me to that and to the dad from the ironically the other Sony animated movie.
No, Nick, it's not the long face. It's more of the, the kind of half-shaven sort of like, that
kinda look like a homeless guy,
disgruntled, grumpy, mean, dead to life, sort of like you hate everything, wishing you were a seahorse, that kind of thing.
Oh man, I wish I was a seahorse. Did you know that seahorses? Did you know that
Kinda like a
seahorses
seahorse.
mate for life? Imagine that. Being a seahorse, falling in love with another seahorse, and just making it work.
It's
Oh,
so
Dreamboat,
great.
did you know Jamal mentioned you on the last Bumblecat? Dude, I was there in the comments. Yeah.
Wait, is this our pal Jamal?
Who has not been here today? He's usually
Where
like
is he? Where's
I don't know.
Happy B Theory Day anyway.
But no, yeah, he threw down a super chat for Ian who was answering questions like, "Hey, can you shout out Nick from Game Apologists?" I was like, "Thanks, man." And then like everyone was like, "Yo, they mentioned you." I'm like, I was in the live chat with you guys.
Oh my
I was
god,
there.
I have to mute that conversation where you quoted me, Nick, because Jesus fucking Christ.
So,
wait,
guilty
hold on,
pleasures,
what
guys.
What happened?
It's just people like turning a whole conversation out of it. I just
Oh, let's see here.
Boys, we've got to get on topic though.
Yeah, Tom Topics is
right,
already
right.
here to remind us.
It's been a while since we've all like actually sat in a room together.
I just missed you guys.
I've missed you guys too.
Who are
This
you guys?
this is what's happened in our time away. I'm not trying to keep us on track. Pup is. We're in the backwards.
It's a paradigm shift. Barry, you need to change the timeline. Shall we go through our three?
Nick already did his first one.
Yep.
Okay, so now it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo-hoo! Okay. Well, I guess my guilty pleasure is that I own 3 copies of Sonic Forces.
So your guilty pleasure. Wait, do you know what a guilty pleasure is?
Well, I enjoy playing them. I get pleasure out of playing them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that counts.
That counts.
That counts.
Okay, there
Yep.
we go.
Yep.
Serious?
Wow, this is gonna be a very.
That's all we're gonna talk about.
Wait, which way are we going?
This is gonna be a very boring and fast episode if we do it this way. Hopefully, mine has a little more meat than that. Okay.
I don't have much to say on that matter. You know, like, do you have anything to add?
The F word. That's the Sonic F word. We don't talk about it. But
Oh man, my brain took that in a different direction. I was really concerned for a second there.
There's like alarmingly different.
Fucking.
it is amazing that forces is the second worst word we could say on this show, beginning with F.
Oh.
I think everyone has had at one point a sad wank over those Mobius Unleashed comics.
It was sad for you.
There we go to my number 2, Sally Acorn.
It
There
was
we go.
sad for you.
Dude,
I
wait
did
your
not
fucking
have
turn.
sexual relations with that hedgehog.
That was a chipmunk, sir. But
My God.
My
So-
guilty pleasure was when I went to the park and I fucked an actual chipmunk because I saw Sally Acorn and I was just like, oh my god.
and you had to get
I
your
need
acorns off. I want to die.
I need some fucking chip juicy.
So there was
double
some
wide juicy.
I didn't film this.
Oh,
I really
fuck.
wish I did, but I
Whoa.
oh god, Frank. Oh no. But like that Sally video, I was on while I was making it, I was on my anniversary trip, and we hit up the West Coast and we went to this dinosaur park where they had this feeder with a bunch of chipmunks. And they took some footage of it because I was gonna later record myself in the backyard just doing this quick reaction when I said I said something in the video like talking about her design and why they designed her like that. It was like that doesn't mean people are gonna like just have a reaction every time they see a real chipmunk. Some shit like that. So I was gonna actually have an actual reaction to a chipmunk, then play the unknown to me behind it.
Oh my god.
Oh, That made the
God.
video so much better.
I think it was fine as is. I think it was fine.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
hate-
everybody.
Well, I was gonna say as much as the show is legitimately not good and its production quality is really fucking low, I'm gonna be honest, I did not hate rewatching Sonic X. I actually like the going through it again as an adult and seeing the ways that they patched up some of the holes in the video game universe, like why the moon is back for one.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. I'm like, oh, this show may have a shoestring budget and pretty ass literally everything, but like they did pay attention. Like they paid a lot of attention.
I felt like the entire point of that show was to be like, exactly that is to there to kind of tie up the loose ends of the adventure games. It
Like
kind of helped explain away some of the stuff that the games didn't do, and they did, and I really appreciate that.
It literally, one of my favorite things is like there was this whole thing because like most people don't even have, except for like jokingly, most people don't really worry about like why is there a single human in Sonic's world? Why is Eggman here? But like
I do.
that show, I know you do, Pup. You're very special. I love you.
Hey, Jamal's here.
Hey,
Jamal!
there he is. Hey, saved by the Jamal.
But
Anyway,
so wait, Sonic X is a guilty pleasure. Okay, look, if you've watched literally any other show that has any production quality, Sonic X does not have that.
no.
Especially if we're talking the English dub. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh God,
It is-
yikes.
It is an incredibly awful piece of media in terms of the so when you look at fight scenes in Sonic X, they play out like PowerPoint presentations. And that's not a compliment.
The shadow fight was embarrassing, dude.
It
Like
really
at times
was.
when I really try to pay attention to the show. I remember when that show was first coming out. Like I got a bootleg of the first 3 episodes at my first anime convention because it wasn't over here yet. I was so unbelievably excited to get a Sonic anime. And the first couple episodes they did, of course, like any anime, they upped
They
the
put the
production
budget
value.
into it. And the first like major fight that wasn't Eggman was a race against a cop in a speed car. Like
I
that's
liked it.
good. That's
I
good.
like that. But yeah, I think Sonic X, like the whole idea of it in my head was this explains why Sonic now has humans around him. It explains everything that would make sense. It ties together the classic and adventure games. And then it also explains the aftermath of Adventure 2 to an understandable degree. And whether or not it's canon to the Sonic universe or not, considering how closely it was tied to the actual Sonic team of the day, I would assume it's at least partially canon to a point.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I
'cause,
thought
like,
it was
it- 'cause it
engaging in
literally
very
fills
certain
in.
spots. Yeah, it explains Eggman. The Eggman stuff was fascinating to me, dude.
The
I
whole,
love
like,
that.
I enjoyed that. And honestly though, I'm gonna be honest, the adventure fan in me probably like has more nostalgia for the retellings of Adventure 1 and 2 in that series, even though they're not handled like amazingly well. But when I'm watching that show, the part that I'm most excited about getting to anytime is getting back to the Metarex saga. I actually don't think that was handled poorly. I think that the show like literally after it's done trying to fill in the blanks in season 2, because like season 1 and 2 are really season 1 is Monster of the Week, season 2 is fill in the blanks in the canon, and then season 3 they're like, okay, let's start our own story and let's do something that's really cool and let's experiment with our characters a little bit. I like all the stuff with Cosmo. I like seeing Sonic go unhinged for a while. I like that Chris Thorndike is no longer as annoying. Like, he actually develops by that point. Like, that show starts handling its characters really well, and then we just never got a 4th season.
When I see James Marsden next to Tika Sumpter, I just think, damn, man, you live at every man's dream. Like, you got to adopt Sonic the Hedgehog. That's just fucking awesome.
Jesus Christ. I gotta say, dude, I did not like Sonic X a lot when it finally came to 4Kids or Foxbox as it was back in the day. And I dropped off it pretty quick, which is very telling because Yeah, I grew up with the original games, but I was a fan of the adventure games. Like I was so excited for the revitalization of Sonic and all that. But I never gave the third season a chance because it didn't have enough game in there for me. And I'm really genuinely kind of excited to check it out again because I think a lot of the negativity that surrounds that series is yes, shoddy animation for sure. But also season 1. I think season 1 really did not, come off on the strongest foot. And I understand
No.
why, because they can't focus entirely on the game fan base, but it really was
making a
little
really
rough.
yeah, they made one of the easiest formulas to do is episodic monster of the week for shows, and that's what they did. They literally even gave Eggman a sloth machine for it.
It was right up there with like Kirby Right Back at You, where it's just like, hey, let's just poop out a new monster that the main character has to fight.
Yeah, and I mean that's. Oh, sorry. Go on, Nick.
Oh, that's worked for decades for Pokemon.
It has.
Well, to be fair, it's also what I'm doing for my cartoon, so I can't judge.
And to be honest, I'm not saying it's a bad formula. I literally just got finished watching JoJo's Part 3, and that's all it is.
Yeah,
It's literally just monster of the week, but tarot cards for that. So it's not a bad formula, but it is very, very easy to do, especially when you've got characters with very robust power sets. Like you've got Knuckles for strength, you've got Sonic for speed, Tails for tech and ingenuity. Like it's very easy to make a whole bunch of monsters and go, who would be best to handle this one today? And that's what that first series did. And I agree with Nick, it didn't do it well. But I think by the end, despite the series not being good, I do like revisiting it. It is a guilty pleasure. I know it's not great. But it does do things that other Sonic media just didn't do at that time or really much since.
fair point.
All right,
Beautiful
Wayne,
said.
you're up.
So my first guilty pleasure, I like the Big the Cat levels. I like the fishing mechanic. I think it's fun. I spent a lot of time on that as a kid. I was going around just catching fish. I thought it was a good ass time. I
Oh my
liked
God.
it. I was watching the Golden Bolt, and he finally helped just land it home. Where he was going back and replaying that, and he's just like, Big the Cat is just literally your dad, and I'm like, oh my God, he is. And I think I like Big the Cat.
Wayne, you're precious, dude.
Oh
I
my
love
God, that was the most
that's been boiling for a while. That's been boiling for 25 years, man.
that was the most anime confession I could have heard, and it's amazing.
Big fishing good.
I'm gonna no, but but I'm gonna say though I don't disagree with Wayne in terms. I've never hated
Are
Big.
you okay there, Wayne?
I was trying to drink something.
And then you did it with your nose. Look at you.
Wayne is boss drowning music.
Wayne is boss.
OST.
Wayne is drowning.
Well, I understand and agree with a lot of the criticisms for Big's, and I mean, in terms of fishing games in general, I've heard it's not even good for fishing games, but it's easy enough for me to understand, like, the
Yeah.
force in there. But while the game was out, like when it first came out, I was very obsessed with the ocean, so I was very excited to just like go to each level and just dip down, and I was like so excited when I could get like the power up that let me float or like dive a bit, and I
Yeah.
could take a look at sharks and like or like a mahi mahi. Like I understand, like I knew what these fish were. It's like because Sonic Adventure is basically Sonic Vacation, and you could tell like everything they did on that vacation is in that game, and ocean fishing was definitely a part of it. And
Well,
I had fun with it.
I would say like the key way to fix like Big the Cat is just make it optional. But I'm gonna say this right now: if I were Takeshi Iizuka in charge of a Sonic Adventure 1 remake, I would make the big levels mandatory again. But the way I would fix them is I would give Big a giant orange T-shirt, and I just wouldn't explain it why it's there or anything.
Oh, is it because I wear orange?
No, just give him an
Oh.
orange T-shirt. Just fuck it.
I was-
There's no reason.
If I
it
was Takashi Iizuka, I would put Big the Cat fishing mini games in a giant open world Sonic game.
It's so much like I would like the fishing mechanics to improve because you are right. If you're comparing it with like other fishing games, especially on the Dreamcast, I always remembered hearing that people were just like, oh yeah, they put the Big the Cat levels in there so they could sell this fishing rod peripheral. That's bullshit because that peripheral doesn't work for Big the Cat levels. I know because I bought that fishing rod just for it, and it doesn't do anything.
You're not
Oh.
wrong. I wanted to do it. You're not wrong. I wanted
Yeah.
to do it for that too.
The frustration there, I can pick up on.
I
can
believe it.
feed
Like
on it.
he's unlocking memories for me. He's right. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to do that too. If you guys watch Stop Skeletons from Fighting though, that thing works for
Yeah.
a surprising amount of things though.
Oh, I'm still planning on doing a stream where I play through the entire game with that fishing rod controller. The entire game.
You can
But
play
it just
Caliber. You can fight people
Yeah.
with that thing.
it just doesn't do
amazing.
like fishing rod stuff. I do have a couple of actual fishing games for the Dreamcast though, and God, that thing is a dream when you're actually doing that. It's like the Dreamcast really was just that era's arcade experience in the home, and it's perfect.
You're
That- I
going
mean-
to make me want to go grab the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller for the GameCube and play Mario Sunshine with it.
I mean,
I mean,
also
we-
you could actually try doing real fishing with the with the Dreamcast fishing rig.
Bitch, try me.
Just give it a go.
But like I mean we could talk. I could talk for hours about weird controllers, dude. I have quite the collection there. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, I mean just at your point, like Sega in general, every single one of their machines is the arcade at home experience. Like that's always been their selling point. And whatever. I'm going on so many different tangents. This is so much fun.
Shall I just give my second thing?
Yes.
I want to put this out there real quick. There is an absolute abundance of Sonic media that I like that other Sonic fans won't approve of, as has been proven by the 6-year history of this podcast. But I had to just nail it down to the ones that I actually do feel guilty about, because the rest, fuck yourself. So, the number 2 thing I have as a guilty pleasure is Sonic Lost World on the PC. So, I've made quite clear, I fucking hate everything that game represents for Sonic. I can't lie, it's a good fucking game, isn't it? Like, it's pretty good. So, that's why it's a guilty pleasure.
Okay. I mean, do you guys have anything to say about Sonic Lost World?
Gotta play through it again. It's been a while.
I will say that the last time I played through it right off the tail end of finishing Forces on stream. And I remember getting I remember distinctly, there was this moment where somebody in my chat was like, wait a minute. Like, they realized halfway through that one of the levels I was going through was an auto-scroller, but the level design was good enough that it didn't feel like it was an auto-scroller at first. And that was one of those... I hate auto-scrollers too. Like, I really do. But, like, it took a second to even, like, recognize that, like, oh shit, that's what we're doing right now. And I was like, oh, no, this game actually does have some competent stuff. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I like the parkour system. I want to see the parkour system come back, because it felt
Also-
like the triangle jump from Sonic Heroes, but, like, they decided to expand it.
I like the gameplay mechanics and everything, and the level design as well. I just wish the art style were more Sonic-y and the music were more Sonic-y and it felt like a Sonic game. But also, Sonny, I'll fucking fight you, bro, saying Sonic Lost World 3DS better. I do not get this. Like, a lot of people do. Like,
have fun in your ice world for half an hour.
that's like a thing. Is like there's a lot of great, like, for example, Garrulous64, YouTuber I hugely respect and everything, love his content. He said that Lost World on 3DS was better, and I was like, I don't get it though, because
So I can explain that.
okay,
An article put it in the best way possible, and I've said it on the show before. The best way I've seen those two described, because I spent like years trying to figure out how I feel about both of those games. They basically said the level design is better in Wii U, controls are better in 3DS, and that's.
I mean, I can kind of agree, to be honest, but like the thing is though, like 3DS, like, okay, the controls are good and maybe even better, but like you don't get to do any Sonic-y shit with the exception of the first level. Like, the first level's good, and then the rest of it is push this apple into this fan, push this snowball into this hole. Like, someone make a remix of that. But also just, like, it's so much mandatory Wisp usage as well, and it's just, fuck me, I hate the game. It's terrible.
You know what the 3DS version doesn't have? A Zelda level. Fuck you. Checkmate.
Yeah, the PC version doesn't have that either. So,
It also has
you,
it also has the Yoshi story level.
yep, checkmate me. I've got the fucking middle ground.
I love the Wii U
Don't you have
version.
mods, though?
I've never understood the hatred of Lost World. I think it's a perfectly competent game. I think the art direction is pleasant, and the story is the worst part about it. But at that point, I mean, I've said it 1,000 times. Like, I've not ever fully appreciated some of the scripts of the spoken dialogue Sonic
Well,
games.
like, for me, it's also just the thing of, like, if you were to pop on your Wii U and play Sonic Lost World, and then you were to pause it, go for a piss, someone were to swap out the disc with Super Mario 3D World, and you were to sit back down to it, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference because it's the exact same fucking thing.
Well, no, I
No,
would,
you can tell
because
the
3D
difference.
World's a better game.
Even the
But-
level design, like the level themes are almost identical, like as
I'm not-
well. Like,
I'm not dismissing that. I do see a lot of like Mario inspiration. Like that's undeniable. But that doesn't mean I hated it. I thought it looked just fine. And they
Yeah,
used a bunch of Sonic elements in it in
I
a
think,
beautifully animated fashion, so I was okay with it.
I think that there's similarities in the style. However, I think that the ways they're utilized are so much better in 3D World versus Lost World. And 3D World remains like one of my favorite Mario games. That's something I can go back to constantly. Whereas Lost Worlds, unfortunately, I just find rather forgettable. I don't particularly hate that game or anything. I don't even like actively dislike it. I think the game is fine.
It's very confused because they do have a lot of they're invoking a lot of Mario, but they don't invoke a lot of the simple pick up and play design of Mario. Like that strangely is like one of the most complicated in terms of control that I've ever seen in a Sonic game. It's a very confusing experience. But sorry, I interrupted you, Asteris.
I will say there's one thing in Lost World that I do not like, and it feels like a minor nitpick, but it's probably the most annoying thing to me. And I found this issue on the PC and on the Wii U version, but it's probably a little worse on the Wii U version. The fact that as you go through the game, you unlock like little Wisp power-ups you can use like in a Mario game, and I just don't want to use them. And then I get punished for not using them because halfway through the game, your limited inventory you have for some reason fills up. And then you get all these fucking prompts like, hey, do you want to use one of these wisps? Do you want to discard one? Like, no, I want this mechanic gone. Goodbye. I'm
But then
tired
there's
of
also,
this.
I've never
like,
understood that
3D
fucking thing.
the thing
3D
is,
Sonic doesn't know how to use power-ups.
there's other stuff that, like, for me, in any other Sonic game would be like a nitpick, but it's like, it's just the fact that it's sitting on top of the stack. Is like Sonic's ice running and ice jumping animations are identical to Mario's ones in 3D World. The way he goes behind a block and suddenly it's got that little silhouette thing, exactly identical to Super Mario 3D World. It's like, there's so much, and it's like, those would just be nitpicks were it not for the fact that everything else in this game feels like they just pulled assets over from Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah, but it
But
for
I
some
like
of
the
those
game
things,
though. It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I've
right,
talked about
yeah.
this like 1,000 times already. Like because I can argue it both ways. But like they're only really Nintendo-fied of that era in Nintendo systems.
Which still makes no sense to me though, because that whole philosophy of like, hey Mario fans, here's another Mario. No, they don't need another Mario. Show them what Sonic can do.
Well, that's kind of what the original Sonic the Hedgehog did, though. Was like we're taking some more traditional, identifiable platform design, and we're starting to implement more actual Sonic in there. Because, like, if you think about, like, yeah, Colors has a lot of traditional 2D Mario, but it helps kind of, get you into what Generations would be. And I would say that game was definitely a step up. I lost, but again, like I could argue both sides of that. I don't disagree with a lot of your points. The specific things like the silhouette, I think is just like a nice evolution of game design in general. Like that's a nice, easy solution to being trapped behind a bit of geometry
Personally,
without
I'd
having
say
to move
just
the
give him
camera.
camera controls back. But
Well,
like,
that's but I mean, the way that those levels are designed, that's not really the point of Lost World. Like that would kind of ruin the flow of things. And I mean, 3D World doesn't have camera control either because it is kind of that weird quasi.
Yeah, they had the
Using
kind
the-
of camera
yeah.
over the shoulder thing going on there, which I liked. Also,
Yeah.
I want to quickly get this out there. Sega, if any of you are listening, if Sonic Frontiers doesn't have camera controls, I will literally burn down your office.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Yeah, open world game better have a 3D.
Yeah, because I noticed that like Super Monkey Ball and stuff doesn't have camera controls. Like, Sega, what is this thing you're trying to push onto us?
I wonder if that's just more to do with like since you're in control of like the environment itself more than
Ye-
anything.
Yeah, no, that's deliberate. That game would get nauseating if you also had camera control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Monkey Ball has a very meticulous design philosophy to it. I hate them, but I respect the design of them.
I completely gave up on Monkey Ball.
Dude, I mean, I like when you mentioned that frustration, I was like, dude, I was right there with you. Like I bought that game on Black Friday like 2 years ago, and I was like, I'm gonna lose my mind. I
Yeah,
can't stand
also,
this.
yeah, just for the chat, for the record, I'm not talking about Banana Mania. I haven't played that. I'm talking about Banana Blitz.
Are you guys the other two?
I thought
Wayne
Banana
and
Blitz
Cirrus?
was the one nobody liked. Sorry,
Sorry, I
what-
didn't like it.
What was that, Nick?
But are you guys familiar with the Monkey Ball series? Like, have you played the GameCube games and stuff?
Actually, the one I-
just never cared about them.
I just
Fair.
got it in the Christmas sale.
I keep jumping on and off of them. I want to play more of them. The one I have the most experience with was the GBA game, actually, and I really, really liked that as a kid.
I got the GameCube one, the original GameCube one. Every time I see people like talk about it, they say like the new games just aren't as well put together as the original. Like I guess none of the games are as good as the original GameCube ones. So I'm really, because like a game like that, it is like that nuance really matters. That is make or break in some of those levels. So I wonder if I'd like it better if I went back to the original games, because I thought that game was cruel as fuck, like the new ones. And apparently, because like I remember seeing the reviews, like, well, yeah, it's an easier version of the easiest game in the series. Like, what? It is so fucking mean, man. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's mainly just the boss fights that I don't like. Everything else I can kind of stomach for the most part, but the boss fights are just unfair.
Yo,
the later levels just drove me crazy, man.
You guys played Ape Escape?
Yeah.
I played a demo of it when I had a PS1 demo disc.
Actually.
If you got a PS4, Ape Escape 2 is up there. Just don't play it on a PS5, because Jesus Christ, it does not function on a PS5.
I plugged out my PS4, sadly. He's still here in the room, but he's been retired for a little bit.
I've barely turned it on since I got the 5, but he's still there in case I need him for Ape Escape 2.
Can you not play Ape Escape on like a PC or an emulator or something?
I mean, I probably could. I haven't tried running a PS2 emulator on this computer. I just remember it didn't function all that well on the last one that I had.
I noticed that the PS5 does do some weird things to like PS4 games and play. Like I was playing Batman Telltale last night on a live stream, and Jim Gordon's like cigar, the smoke coming out of it was pure white, and I was like, "Wow, that's really weird."
To be fair,
It's
that
also
could
really
just be
blocky.
because it's a Telltale game. But
Leave
it's
Telltale a fucking alone. It's one thing that you don't like Detroit, but don't shit on Telltale now as well.
No,
I'll
not go down
fucking
that
kill
rabbit
you,
hole.
Wayne. I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
so-
listen. I'm not even shitting on the devs there. The devs, but they were forced to just recycle the same engine and crank out games like crazy. But there were technical issues with basically all of those games.
So,
Oh yeah,
Nick.
doesn't Nick have?
I
made
mean, Nick.
Yeah.
How did I fuck that up? I'm sorry.
God. I don't know, man. Like I could say Sally Acorn, because yeah, like I was very confused as a kid.
That is a very guilty pleasure.
But-
Pleasure.
Naughty, Nick.
Naughty, Nick.
Dirty diddler.
You guys sound hornier joking about me being horny than I ever have.
Oh, I love it when Nick is horny.
It-
He wants
No,
to
already-
choke on Chipmunk.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Enough.
Just I'm getting it out of your system. Have you finished? Do you need some more?
Have you?
Have you finished yet, Nick?
Well, if you were a polite lover, you would have let me finish first, Wayne. But Demetrius, this is Sunset City, all right.
Yeah.
It always comes back to this.
I don't know. I don't know if Sally would actually be a guilty pleasure though. Like just after doing that video, I was like, yeah, I genuinely appreciate her character, and when I look at the Sonic cast, like there's not really anybody that really has the role she has. So no, I'm very proudly a Sally fan these days. She was a very well defined character that deserves more time.
So the guilt part is just the fact that she gets you acting up.
I mean, we could do that, or I could be a little bit more genuine because I think I'm actually having to admit that I think I like Zavik. I think I actually like Zavik.
Yo,
Dude.
I've been waiting for this character arc.
Officially handing in my resignation.
No, I have
I'm
to
gonna
agree
say
with
this,
Nick on Zavik.
yeah.
Oh, I
Here's
still
the
don't give a
difference.
shit about him, but I've been expecting this.
Dude,
Here's-
reading the comics, it's worth it.
Let me finish. Let
Yeah.
me finish. You can tell who likes Zavik and who doesn't like Zavik at this table by who's actually read the comic or not.
You got me
And
there.
Cirrus and I have read the comic.
Fair
and
enough.
Anybody else who has read Bad Guys or the Metal Virus and actually seen the dialogue and how he acts and how Ian Flynn treats the character, I love it. I thought it was fascinating because like I listened to the Bumblecast where he was kind of describing it. He's not sold on the Zeddy in general, and overall, not my favorite things. Like design alone, I can't stand their designs.
Hang on, did you just skip to your third guilty pleasure?
No, I swapped out. I was gonna say Sally, but the
Oh,
second
okay.
one is actually gonna be Zavik.
Oh, valid.
But I think Flynn just keeps teaching me over and over again because this happened to me back in when I picked Archie back up after I dropped it after hating all their fucking characters. I don't think there's really there is a thing as a bad Sonic character as long as you have a good writer who has a compelling story to tell for them. And
Yeah.
considering his limitations on what he can use, Zavik's a very compelling character. He's the way Flynn's described him is like this composed barbarianism. Like he's eloquent, he's in control, but like there's always this brewing, insane, terrifying violence. But he can control it and he knows when to unleash it. And that's what makes him so compelling, is that the two sides of that all together. It's just eloquent bestiality or bestiality.
Bestiality?
Whoa,
What?
whoa, what?
Hold on, Sigmund Freud said what?
Back
we
to
were talking
Sally
about
again.
Sally just a moment ago.
I mean, it is kind of true because, like, it's like I've had conversations with a couple of people, especially if we're talking about certain comic book characters. Batman and Superman are a good example, where a lot of people profess that Superman is a really boring character. To
No,
me,
he
that just
fucking
means
isn't.
they haven't read the really good content with Superman.
Well,
he's
like, yeah, my
fucking fascinating.
my thing is like the more people say that Superman's boring, the more I think the world needs Superman. Because if you think that being idealistic and believing in the best of mankind and stuff is boring and so unrelatable, then you need a little bit of idealism.
That's a beautiful sentiment. I just wanted to compliment you for that. That's a great point, Pop. I like
Thank
that.
you, man.
And yeah, that just kind of goes to the point, is like the character is almost never going to be a problem if you have the right writer, like if filling them out. So I can definitely see where you're coming from on that, Nick. And I haven't read the comics. I've seen your speed readings on the Metal Virus saga, and I actually did think that Zavik was legitimately threatening in that. I cared more about him in that than I did in Lost World. That's for dang sure.
Yep.
So yeah, hey, I mean, give him to the right people, and you can do something with it.
Have him voiced by Pup, help me out here. Who voices Lex Luthor and Patrick Starr? Who's that guy? No, not Patrick Starr. Mr. Krabs.
Oh, Mr. Krabs.
Oh shit, yeah.
Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown.
He also did
I
Red
wanna
Death.
see him.
He also
That
did
would-
Red Death and Adventure Brothers.
I mean, that would actually be a voice that makes sense for him because, like, when you read the comics, he is a very calculating person.
Yeah.
Like his entire shtick is that like he's under the tutelage of the older Zeddy,
Yeah.
and he's constantly either like impressing or disappointing him based on whether or not he leans into his intellect or his brawler instincts. And I'm gonna be honest, one of the things that I actually really liked in the comics was seeing Zavok go to Restoration HQ and then like literally start trying to force everybody else to reason with him. He's just like, "Why did you build this? This is not the Zeddy way." And it just like, are you trying to understand them or are you trying to intimidate them? I can't tell, and I like that.
You know what though? I feel like with that he would need a little redesign. Give him kind of almost like a semi-realistic aesthetic. Take him out of that Lost World aesthetic where everything's quite smooth and rubbery looking, and give him like scales or something. You know, make him look like a monster.
I mean,
oh sorry. Yeah, giving him a little more edge. Honestly, you know who else I'd really like to see voice the character? Billy Zane.
Who is he?
Okay, you play Kingdom Hearts 1?
Titanic.
Yeah, he was the bad guy in Titanic.
Voice.
Have you played Kingdom Hearts 1?
Yeah, he's got a good voice. Yeah,
he played Ansem, Seeker of Darkness in that, and then none of the other games.
Gotcha.
I would like Michael Cera to voice Zavok.
Did we lose somebody?
I will not be elaborating.
What is that noise?
What noise?
What noise? Can you guys hear me fine?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Wayne, can we hear you?
Well, there's more feedback now from your microphone, Cirrus.
I thought that Wayne was doing a bit about how I'm not here.
Jesus.
And how I don't exist. That's what I thought that whole noise thing was. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, Wayne?
He's gone. Like, he has not responded to any of us yet.
Yeah, he just typed in our chat, did we lose connection? Like, I mean...
Well, I missed him already. Chris Pratt as Zavok. No, fucking James Corden as Zavok and Chris Pratt as fucking Zaz.
I just say there's one more moment in the comics. I know it's not in the bad guy comics, just in the mainline ones. That like I actually like where Zavok's concerned. That shows just like what kind of a menace he is when he walks into a town. He is injured from a previous battle. He literally grabs a doctor from the town as the other Deadly Six are like destroying it, forces the doctor to dress up his wounds, and the doctor goes, "Once I'm done, can I please go tend to my neighbors?" And he just like grabs his head and shoves it in the dirt. No. And just walks away.
It's kind of implied. They don't show it. It's kind of implied that the Deadly Six are indeed deadly. Like,
yeah, they're actually killing them.
It's implied that he kills the doctor there.
Yeah. Well, I know that like in the panel you just see him shove his head down.
Right.
But it's I agree what the implications are.
He does not come back after that, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Wallace is just fixing his internet, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally did have the
comments. R.I.P. Wallace again.
Yep.
Wallace is back.
I'm back.
Welcome
there
back.
you are, buddy.
No, Adam Sandler, Coffee. Adam Sandler should play Master Zik and put on his mighty voice from 8 Crazy Nights.
No. So are you just gonna have?
I remember when you were just a little kid.
I mean, that's actually not far off from the voice they use in Lost World.
I don't remember the voice from Lost World.
It was more like I'm an old man.
Yeah, it's that.
Zavok, I'm going to fuck you and your sister Xena.
Jesus Christ!
I just now I'm just imagining.
Lederick was the one that won the fucking NFT, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
We'll get to it later. Later.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
I think, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Oh, come on, Wayne.
The image in my thanks to Pup, the image in my head of Zeke trying to convince Zavok to get Orin's chicken from Panda Express is just playing on loop now. You know, Zavok, it's always the best.
Change his name to Coach Zik and make the Deadly Six a fucking basketball team.
Oh, fuck that movie forever. Oh, God.
I fucking loved it. I don't care. I loved it.
I'm not remotely surprised.
No,
So,
I loved it. It's bad. It's really bad, but I went into it wanting to see something bad. I got what I wanted.
so
So I'm happy.
there is. Are you up for another?
I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
Because you're the biggest fucking pervert here, and you're gonna give your number one guilty pleasure.
You know for a fact
I'm
that
giving
is
my
not true.
Well, one, I'm giving my number 2 one. The first one was Sonic X.
Are we really not that far in? God damn. Okay,
No, we're
well, go
not.
on. Go on then.
So my number 2, and ah,
Fucking
who
children.
Poo.
God damn it!
We are collectively 12.
I'm gonna be honest, and I know that there's a lot of people who will disagree. This is like the easiest one for people to disagree with. I unironically, and I've said this before, I unironically love the story of 06.
Oh, I know
I
you
have-
do.
I have gone through, and I have when I haven't played the game, even before I actually played through the whole game, I had watched the entire story play out multiple times in that one YouTube video that like compiles everything into a giant movie, and had been thoroughly entertained every fucking time. I know it's got its problems, but I really love that story.
I agree.
And like
I do agree.
there's stuff in that story that I can say like, yeah, it's goofy as shit. Like the time travel mechanics goofy as shit. It's not really well explained. Sonic getting killed off, that's just done for the edge. Like, I get that. That's all silly. But there is some stuff in that story that I find genuinely compelling. Like when Mephiles is reasoning with Shadow about how humanity's going to turn on him eventually. That's like Green Goblin and Spider-Man superhero narrative shit. And I loved that. And I've already like gushed before about like the turmoil of having Omega have to like admit to Shadow, no, you don't understand. The person who does that to you in the future is me. Like stuff like that I just find compelling in Sonic story. In stories in general, but especially having it in a Sonic story. I could really like not care so much about Sonic's part of that story, and even Silver's part of that story can be a little iffy for me, but the entire dark side of that story is I just find it really compelling. I love Mephiles as a villain. I love seeing Omega expanded on more than just like he's a violent robot, hee-haw. Even though I love when they do that to him too in IDW. I wish we would see more stories that take themselves maybe not quite as seriously as all of 06 did, but certainly close. I would like that.
I think there's a nice balance to be had, and I would have to say, like, you guys specifically have kind of helped me, because like the whole point of my channel will try and eventually get to the point where I'd be like, I can see why people like this game I hate, because I've gone on record many times saying,
Is that
I've
going to
been-
be the finale of Game Apologist?
Fuck no, goddamn, I'm much more than Sonic. I'm going to keep spouting that forever.
You say that, but
But I know the numbers. I know pup. I
keep
know.
trying to convince yourself.
That's it
God.
keeps me alive. But I gotta say, like, I don't disagree with you in terms of the dark storyline. I think people really captured the essence of what they were going for, even if it was like awkwardly translated or in a janky ass video game. I think people really appreciate the dynamic between these characters. And yeah, it's easy to joke that, oh, the copy of Sonic has another copy. But I fucking love Mephiles' design. I don't care.
Mephiles is fucking great. You'll never convince me otherwise.
I love his design. I do think it gets a little bit too up its own ass. I do think the three gods and like it's split apart. I think it's trying too hard to be Final Fantasy on occasion, and I think the romance stuff is weird and awkward, and I'm sorry, but that's why I like Sally and Sonic, is because that's a healthy relationship that made
Agreed.
sense between two characters. So
100%,
they did
yeah.
it better before. But all in all, I don't disagree with you, dude. I do not disagree with you at all. I think I finally understand why people love the what's it called, Team Dark as much as they do, because that was the through line through those games, and 06 was kind of the finale there. It was them finally as a proper team that truly loved each other, and I can understand fully why people miss that, because it is fucking compelling as hell.
Go on in, Wallace. You're up.
Yep.
We're all just having an emotional moment here. It's okay. You can bring us down.
Just awkward as fuck, man. Just keep talking.
Yeah, seriously, boys. I'm seriously gonna cry.
I listen. I was once told, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Look, if Sunset City ever turns on you, then you should fight as you always have.
I gotta sit down with Sonic 06 again. I'm sure there's some stuff I could appreciate in retrospect. There's a lot I'm not on the same page with. There are aspects of Mephistopheles that I appreciate. I think that one design is just a lazy recolor of Sonic. I think the other one looks like a fucking VR chat model janking around with all of its little bits phasing in and out of each other. I think the story is trying so hard to go in so many different directions, and you feel the anguish of the team that was struggling to get this game to work, screaming through the TV in just about every cutscene to me. But this is not about that. This is about us sharing the things that we enjoy, and I am glad, Cirrus, that you enjoy Sonic 06 and its story. I will try to keep that in mind the next time I give it a playthrough, to kind of go in for a fresh take and see if I like it any more than I did before.
Fuck you, Wayne.
I wish you the best of luck. It's an awful game.
Fair.
Yeah, also I don't disagree with anything Wayne said either, but but yeah, no, I gotta say though, Pup and Circe, you've definitely helped me. I know I'm like the most cynical of all of us here, but I do appreciate you guys eloquently explaining, why you love something, and I think that's got to be appreciated for sure.
I'm just right now doing a little something in Photoshop.
Oh no,
that is never a good sign.
That is
good things have never come from that statement from either Pup or Wayne.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And Pup has never fucked an egg.
So, Photoshop, not Photoshop. Guilty pleasure number 2 from Wayne. So I blame Cirrus for this mostly. I gotta go back and replay this game. I think it's not the first time I've said that on this channel. But I go back and I listen to a lot of Cirrus's work. I am one of your audio listeners primarily. It's the sort of thing where I can kind of turn... kind of like where that phrasing was going, but turn you on in my ear and just kind of listen to you while I work. And but the one... And you play a lot of Sonic music. You play a lot of Sonic music in there.
Yeah.
I got some other soundtracks I gotta like kind of push your way to because mostly for my own benefit, so I can hear them while you're talking. But one that I keep going back to, and I've played in my game store a couple of times now because I just think it's fucking catchy, is the Shadow the Hedgehog soundtrack, or at least the level music. Because it's better than it should be.
Dude, Digital Circuit is wonderful.
Digital Circuit's great. I like that soundtrack so much more than I feel like I ought to. I Am All of Me is like one of my favorite songs in the franchise, and I primarily... There's like maybe 3 songs with lyrics in the Sonic franchise I like. The rest of them I want to throw into a blender.
Jesus.
Hey, sorry, the Sonic Heroes song is fucking annoying. I thought so when I was 8 years old, and I think so now.
Wayne, what comes up must come down.
Yes, my feet don't touch the ground.
Anyway, yeah, no, Shadow soundtrack is a lot of fun. I like it a lot. God, there's some really good tracks in that. And I'm not sure what I'm in for when I go back to try to play that game again. But I think I'll at least be enjoying the music.
I guess it's up to me now, isn't it?
Yep.
Number 3. Okay.
Wait, what about Nick? Did we just skip Nick's number 3?
No, it's Pup's turn.
I thought you started and then Pup went, and then
I rambled like a lunatic. I that was my fault. But Pup,
Wayne,
go ahead, man.
you are
Okay, okay.
bullshit. Okay, so
Oh.
I was going through a hard patch in life at one point, and so I picked up my Sonic plushie, shook its hand, and said, "Thanks for being there." And that's my. I was 25 years old, and that's my guilty pleasure moment. Also, I finished my Photoshop. If anyone wants to see it, I'll post it in the Discord.
Post it in the
And I will-
Discord.
Yeah, I'll post it in the Discord. Can you throw it up on screen as well?
It depends. It really
Okay.
depends.
Okay.
I
Here you go.
haven't said I consent yet. Okay, I consent to that. I consent to this. This is fine.
I can put that on Twitter. I want to retweet that. man.
Adam
I will put it on
Sandler's
Twitter.
6 Deadly Nights.
Yeah, that's it. Reveal it before throwing it up. That's always good.
No, I
No,
already
he threw it up, he threw it
I
up.
threw it up
Oh,
first.
okay. Okay, it's
I-
a delay. It's a delay on mine then.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, you can see it in real time on Discord.
God.
It's perfect. It's perfect. And it's missing the Zeddy that I don't like, so that's fine too.
Well, I just figured the kind of roles they take. Xena could be the. I can't remember her name. I'm gonna come off really bad here, but I'm just gonna say the woman from the movie.
It's an Adam Sandler movie. That might also be Adam Sandler. I hated that movie. I really did.
I really.
I
did too.
loved it.
I
It was awful.
really-
I loved
You
it.
would.
Of course.
Okay.
But okay, so Nick, do you want to do yours or do I do mine?
I'll go ahead and do mine. Finally, actually stay on point for what I think what you guys originally meant for this specifically, and I'm going to go with the safest of the answers, and that's the thing everybody agrees is not a good game, but we all like it anyway, and that's Sonic R.
Yeah.
Like if I had to give like a genuinely like honest like top 10 list of Sonic R, Sonic R would be up there, like alarmingly high up on my best Sonic or my favorite Sonic games. As far as recommendations to people who've never touched Sonic, would not be on that list in the slightest. If I wanted to be objective about it, would not be on that list at all in terms of like overall game design. In terms of my overall personal favorites, like pretty much everything outside of 3D Blast, Sega Saturn Sonic is way high up there. I just have too much nostalgia for it. I've had way too much fun exploring those worlds and just collecting everything. And I still remember the freak out I had when I first saw Metal Knuckles. I remember the unsettling confusion when I first saw the Tails doll. I love that game so much. Do not like the soundtrack, and I don't understand how everybody else does, but that's fine. They're not bad songs. Just very weird. I don't get the love for it.
I like the ones. I like the ones that don't have lyrics. I like the instrumental versions. I don't know what it is about me and like lyrics in a lot of music. Again, it's so hit or miss with me. I think a part of it is like how on the nose the lyrics will feel, and another part of it is how it's mixed into the music. Like the utilization of the lyrics, I so much prefer like it doesn't matter in Sonic Adventure 1 than I do in 2. And I don't know why, but it's also like one of my favorite tracks of music in the Sonic franchise is like the main theme of Sonic Unleashed in its instrumental version during the fight with Perfect Dark Gaia. I hate the lyrics, and I don't know what's wrong with me. I just hate people singing for some reason, I guess.
Dude, I've again, curmudgeon as I am, like I've gone on many times saying I do not like spoken vocal game lyric game music because it's usually fucking awful for me.
And I
Doesn't
like
translate well.
Yeah. I mean, I like some. Live and Learn is a fucking banger.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think Live and Learn is just a genuinely fun song, but I know I'm might be alone here. I don't know, but every single track for the Avatar and Sonic Forces was unbearably cringy for me.
I love
it's
every one
awful.
of those. I love every
I'm-
one of those tracks so much.
I know,
hate
I know
you.
you do. Bud. I know you do.
I've
Love
used
what
them
you
in
love,
so
homie.
many videos.
You gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, no, I agree though. Like this is what I had to change because, like I said, and I've talked about this before. Like the Sonic R 3D Blast, I haven't completed the 3D Blast one because I haven't completed the game. But Sonic R and Sonic Jam, like the two scripts I started for my channel, which I haven't gotten done yet. But I'm gonna have to go back to the Sonic R one and like reanalyze it because I thought like one of the big critiques of the day was the corny music, and one of my points was like, well, just go turn off the vocals. You can do that, and it sounds like just Saturn ass Sonic music. But you look at the state of the fan base, and miraculously, it's like, no, dude, I love this shit. I'm like, okay, love what you love, you crazy kids.
It's the Sonic cycle. We hate things for 10 years, and then suddenly it's our favorite thing in the world.
It's very well. That's the thing, though. Like, none of you grew up with it. Like, maybe I guess the GameCube collection. I guess that must be the changing pace there. I'd imagine.
I mean,
that's
I played Sonic R at my cousin's house, which was one of the ways that I experienced Sonic 2 before I got it on my GameCube. So, like,
yeah, I keep forgetting it came out in the collection because it was like I didn't know anybody else who had a Saturn outside of me. So I was like, who the fuck been experiencing this game outside of the critics that just call it a piece of shit? But yeah, no, I keep forgetting the Gems collection happened, and a large part of the more vocal part of the fan base these days are the adventure fans. So yeah, that makes sense. Never mind, that tracks.
So, Cirrus.
okay. I hate the music in this game. I hate the music in this game a shit ton. But dear God, I actually really like Sonic Chronicles. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I know.
I actually do really enjoy Sonic Chronicles.
Listen, I know a
okay.
guy. My good friend Joey, his favorite Sonic games are Sonic Chronicles and Sonic 06. He's not trolling. He genuinely loves those ones the most.
Listen. I played through that game like 3 times within the first week I had it. I really liked it. I cannot judge you. I don't like it now as much.
The fights take so long, though.
The fights take long, but here's the thing. Okay, so I got the game. A friend let me borrow it after he let me borrow Elite Beat Agents. So I started that game off the tail end of beating Elite Beat Agents. And
So you played a better game first, is what you're telling me.
But do you know what the Chronicles combat system is a direct copy of the way you play Elite Beat Agents?
But it's a rhythm game, and they implement it way better.
They do. But because I played it directly off the heels of playing Elite Beat Agents, I breezed through that combat system without any issues. So like anytime somebody's like, these fights take forever, and I'm like, I mean, kind of, sort of, not really. If you use your special
Also,
attacks and you time it right, it's fine.
The save system fucking reeks. The fact that you have to manually save it and like,
you mean the fact that you have to save the way that most games back then saved?
It's old
it
parts
wasn't.
like
the
us.
Sonic games before.
How many
had fucking
RPGs have you played, Pub? Because we're talking about an RPG here.
But still, regardless, though, he's got a point.
Also,
though. We had that, and it's a fucking portable game.
When I first
been a little
booted
bit better.
When I first booted it, I got to like a little ways into the first chapter, and then I died, and then I was sent back to the menu. It was like start a new game. I was like, hang on a minute, you didn't fucking warn me about that. And then there's the fact that you can only save at certain points.
Yeah, that's how all RPGs of that era
all
worked.
RPGs of that era are bad. Then
that's not how that works. You absolute troglodyte.
Listen, I know it's terrible, but terrible is the entire genre.
This is okay. So remember what we're talking about here is guilty pleasures. Cirrus and I both know this game is fucking bad.
Yep.
I played that when it came out, and I felt nothing from start to finish. I felt absolutely nothing. It just was
Suris,
Just a thing that happened.
you'll have my stool in your eye. Wayne, I will literally
Mm.
drain all of the salt water out of your testicles.
But
My God.
I am curious now, all these years later, and with everything I've learned and the opinions I've taken in, and the fascinating part with this whole drama with Ken Penders,
Mm.
I am interested to go back to it, but yeah, I don't like that. I do not like that game.
It definitely
wow.
like as I've moved on and I've played a lot of much better RPGs, because I remember something I enjoyed about Chronicles at the time was the game really picked up for me when you start going to other dimensions and you're visiting these other worlds and they all have their own little like problems that you're trying to deal with. It's like these little smaller stories on
It becomes
each
very
of these
episodic
little-
at that point.
and I kind of liked that. I thought that was cute. And then again, you know, I got older and I started playing more RPGs. Once I played Persona 3, my you know, the pole kind of lifted for my expectations on what I hold RPGs to, and Sonic Chronicles falls very, very short of that. But it's not a
like,
good game. It's
I
not
like
even a
the
good
music.
RPG.
I
But
like the music in Sonic Chronic gonorrhea.
I don't think anybody can. I think that's actually an impossibility.
No, I
I-
like it, but like I like it because it's bad.
Like here,
Like
here-
Eight Crazy
ironically.
Nights. Like 8 Crazy Nights.
like
Okay.
I would not be mad if we got another Chronicles game that just implemented a more Paper Mario-y battle system and a less Elite Beat Agency battle system. I mean, for one,
Yeah.
because that game does not work without the stylus. So like,
it and it gets tedious.
They could also give it a good save system.
I mean, I'm okay with single point saving, though. I think if we got a Sonic RPG, usually the marriage that most RPGs of that era had was you had single point saving in towns and dungeons and environments, and then if you were in the overworld, you had carte blanche. You could save wherever. That's like the general rule of most RPGs of that era. If they did that, I'm fine. I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing.
Yeah, that was the
And
only.
Yeah.
I think it's fine to be like, this is a portable thing. We can do better, but at the same time, yeah, I also agree with you two there. That's
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bash Chronicles for doing the industry standard of the day.
And a part of it is because of the way that RPGs are structured. Like those stats and everything are so important, and like what items you have on you at certain points in time, and like there will be points of no return in an RPG a lot. And if you had more frequent saving, what happens there is like manual save points that where those are the only places where you can save, as long as they're placed logically, like in something like Bravely Default is a good example, which is a portable game that handles the saving system well for an RPG.
Mhm.
If you can just save willy-nilly whenever you want, you are going to soft lock your game fast, and you will have to start over because you will fuck yourself.
Jesus.
Like that's why a lot of it is like that.
Yeah, like having an underleveled party walking into an encounter where like a boss closes a door behind you a room or two before you get to the boss, and like getting to the boss, dying and realizing, oh shit, I don't have the armor, I don't have the potions, I don't have the levels, and needing to go back at least to a town or some shit to better prepare. Like,
Yeah.
if you could just save right before the boss fight, and then the door's locked behind you, and that's a pretty common thing to happen, especially in Final Fantasy III.
But then I would say
You
make
fucked.
it so that you can get out of it, but still have that save. Like,
It's well, again, a part of it is just the standard at this point. You know how to play like a Sonic game at this point. RPGs player know how to play an RPG at this point. It's like there's not a whole lot of sense in shaking up the formula now, especially since it works so well at this.
I think it's something they could. I think it's silly. I think it's something they could implement as at least an option for like
I think
people
you
that
should-
aren't
I think you
I
should
necessarily.
think if
play
they threw
some-
a couple of good RPGs your way, you would start to get
I
it.
think you should play some RPGs.
It is.
I mean, I played a little bit of Paper Mario, and I'm also just not into the whole thing of press a button and watch it fight. You know, like
Yeah.
I guess at this point, though, Pup, like, and I'm very, very sorry if this sounds condescending. That is not my point. But like, I would say like just maybe recontextualize that as like a critique of RPGs in
Yeah,
general.
no, I do agree with that. Like,
But yeah,
if I were
would
to-
recommend I'd play a few more of them to kind of, and then maybe go from there, and then like
Yeah,
there's-
with that in mind, I'm not going to call it a Sonic Chronicles specific problem. Maybe just
Yeah.
an issue I have with the RPG genre.
yeah,
I mean, like, a difference is like obviously like Resident Evil has an interesting save system, but I feel like that contributes to the
it's
what's it
a
called?
horror game. It's trying to
It contributes-
oppress you.
It contributes to the immersion, but also I never feel too far thrown back, and it's like it's just a matter of doing a few things again, and once you know how to do it, it's pretty easy. Whereas like, I don't like it where I'm sent back a long way and have to keep doing the same shit over and over again. And like, you know, it takes a lot of time. Like the thing with Resident Evil and stuff is once you've worked it out, you can breeze through it. Like,
Well, yeah, RE.
You know what?
that's
RE1
also a remake though. The original was
Yeah.
cruel with its save system. It was
You know what?
fucking mean about it.
Actually, yeah. So I played through the original on stream, and like they give you half the amount of ink ribbons in that game that the remake does. It gives you half the amount of saves to go through the
yeah,
game.
see, that would be a problem. I think like the
Yeah.
remake gets it just right. Like, because at first, when you first told me about the ink ribbon thing, I was like, oh fuck me. But then I was like, okay, in practice, it actually works.
When there are 3 ink ribbons per save, which is the norm for most of those games going forward, it's fine. When there's only 2, which was the PlayStation RE1 and RE2 standard, it is ball breaking.
I would imagine.
You know what I just thought of? This idea just kind of came into my head.
Hmm.
If they ever wanted to do another Sonic RPG, obviously we're never going to get a direct sequel to Chronicles because of everything that fell out from that. But if they
Yeah.
wanted to try again with an RPG formula for Sonic, my suggestion, 2 birds, 1 stone, bring back the storybook idea and incorporate that into an RPG where Sonic is kind of taken
That's
into
not a bad idea.
And
put him in a fantasy setting and do something with that and make it like a turn-based RPG. You could do so much with that shit.
would you want it to be a little like a Persona game?
Well,
I think
okay.
I think
so
the style of Persona
You know
5
what?
actually fits Sonic really well.
it
Someone-
depends. I have seen some games attempt the Persona formula and not quite get there. Digimon Cyber Sleuth is an example, and I like that game, but it also kind of goes to show that Persona it has this really, really specific like gameplay loop that I think you have to do in. I don't know. I can't articulate myself well on this particular point right now. I'm planning on getting into that discussion later when I review Cyber Sleuth. But I think it's a fine idea. Maybe a little. It depends on how they play it.
I would say, and I know they'd never do this, but this is one of those like I wish the Sonic brand was as powerful as Mario these days, and they weren't. So I really fucking hate. I could go on this forever. Just the arrogance between Sega of America and Japan and just not working together. Like it's taken 30 years for any of that to start happening. But like, I would take the RPG element and give it to a different character in the Sonic cast, and like that might be a good way to deal with like the freedom. Yeah, like a detective game for them, or you give the Freedom Fighter something else to do. Like somebody mentioned this, I don't know if it was on Twitter or somewhere, but like, yeah, if they wanted to bring in Sally in terms of like a playable, give her a typical RPG with the Freedom Fighters, like that is a
Oh, like
I think that'd be-
Sonic does XCOM?
basically, yeah. But I would give it to Sally and the Freedom Fighters, and like, yeah, Sonic's there of course, but like he's not the main drive, and that way you don't have to like try and force. Well, how does speed work here? Like, well, we're not going to worry about it. It's just a power up that he uses here, and it's not such a weird thing because, surprise, the Sonic universe is a much more diverse thing than you realize because nobody does that for Mario anymore. Mario Kart just happens. Mario sports games just happen. Mario Party just happens, and everyone's okay with it.
I mean,
Yeah.
even then, like, you can easily do the Paper Mario route for like when you ask like how does speed work here. It's very easy to just treat Sonic speed in Overworld as like this is a power up used to get through X thing, but other characters are relevant with their powers too. Like that wouldn't be a very difficult thing to implement. Like, oh, there's a there's a timing puzzle here that we have to do to get to the boss room. The timing puzzle requires you to lead your team with Sonic.
Yeah.
Like that's not super hard to do.
Yeah, I just, I'd like to see them expand and everything like there. And again, like this is what this app. This is why I like Ian Flynn's writing. Like back in the back end of Archie and with Zavik nowadays, it's just like there's no such thing as a bad character as long as you take care of the source material, and you can make it all work together in a natural, compelling way if you give it a shot, as opposed to just being, a whiny little baby bitch and just appreciate why other people like these other things in the franchise. So there we go.
Yeah.
Are we all caught up, everybody? Wayne,
I
did
think-
you go?
Wayne's
I
got,
think
Wayne's
I still got to do my third. God, so yeah, this is going to be a weird one, but I've been doing a lot of like thinking back on my history with the Sonic franchise and everything like that. And I think I've come to a surprising conclusion about what actually might be my favorite Sonic game.
Oh, it's not Adventure 1 anymore?
Nah, man.
Oh no.
Sonic Dreams Collection. Okay, now hear me out. Let me tell you.
Oh no.
No. So, no, favorite game is still Sonic Adventure 1. No, my actual third guilty pleasure would probably be Sonic the Fighters. Just Sonic the Fighters. I actually really enjoy that.
That's fair, man. The only reason it gets as much hate as it does is because those people actually played the game that engine was designed for, and that's the Virtua Fighter series. Because it's not as good as Virtua Fighter, but
No, not at all.
it is still built off the bones of Virtua Fighter, so it is a pretty fun time, all the same. Just all the early 3D stuff, dude. Like, and I think people that didn't even grow up with that stuff still see that experimental side of things, be it R, be it Sonic World and Jam, or Sonic the Fighters, and we still see some wild, fun create that the series is just kind of afraid to do a lot of the time these days. And yeah, I mean, Fighters is a silly fucking time, dude. I enjoy it too.
I just adore those little character models. The sound effects are fun. Like it's got that arcade charm to it that I as I grow into an old man, I just need my short bursts of joy, and it's got that.
Yeah, it's not as well put together as the series it's based off of.
Oh,
but
not at all.
It's very spammy too, but
Very, yeah.
I like playing Fang the Knackle in that game though.
I swear to God,
Who's that one character that like got cut out of that and then they put her back in? Was it a cat?
Honey the Cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honey the cat. Oh, okay, yeah.
Also based off of, I don't know what her name is, but one of the Fighting Vipers. I'm not gonna pretend like I know. I'm not a big fighting game guy to begin with, but yeah,
1v1 me in MVC2.
I don't think I will.
Wayne, you should come down here and come to my card shop. We have a original MVC2 arcade machine.
No, you fucking don't.
And I can play you on original hardware for free at my shop.
Oh my God, I'm coming over there.
I'm just coming.
I don't know what to say, man. I'm coming.
He's just coming.
Ah, God, dude, best fighting game ever made. I fucking love Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
We're gonna take you for a ride.
I hate that fucking
I
song.
love that song. It's like a 40-second song loop, but it's fine. But that there's original hard. I'll take if I go to the card shop in the next couple days, I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to you.
Please do. Oh my God, it's been so long since I've actually seen an MVC2 cabinet. I've seen a couple of the first game, not so much the second. Those died off quick.
Yeah, this thing is huge. This thing is massive.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh man.
Goodness gracious. Well, guys, are we all caught up? Pub, you've
I
been
think so.
strangely quiet for the last little bit.
I'm just listening.
I get that. I do that. Or I'll consume the entire conversation and ramble for 5 minutes straight.
I'm also
Either
fighting
or.
NFT bros on Twitter as well. No, have you heard that Matthew Lilliard's got into NFTs now as well?
Who's that? That name's familiar.
The voice of Shaggy.
Oh.
And the thing is, like, someone like commented under his like shilling for NFTs saying, "Oh, but they're harmful for the planet. These are facts." He's like, "Yeah, I disagree." I'm just like, "Are you fucking dense?"
I disagree.
I disagree. Yes, compelling argument. I'm glad that you brought those citations.
Tara Strong has been shilling for NFTs, and what I find so funny about that is on her Twitter, she posts all about vegan is cruel to animals. No, not vegan. Go vegan. Meat is cruel to animals. Yet NFTs are a massive threat to every species on the fucking planet.
Let me just destroy the Amazon wild forest so I can get a receipt.
I'm destroying the Amazon, but at least I don't eat meat.
Yeah, Pup, you and I came to the same conclusion. I remember seeing that a few weeks ago, and I was just like, you scroll through Tara Strong's thing, and it is just like the hypocrisy.
Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, for real.
She is just kind of a loud asshole, man. I don't know.
You fucking garbage human beings.
Yeah, this is why I was saying earlier when Troy Baker was all, hey, I'm supporting this NFT group that's trying to make an AI tool.
But
that
did you see his
like,
apology? Like,
I did.
He's like, I'm not sorry about the NFTs, but I'm sorry for being a douche canoe about being a douche canoe.
Douche canoe.
I feel bad because I've been streaming the Batman Telltale series lately and been singing the praises of Troy Baker's performance. And it's like literally like yesterday, I was like, Troy Baker's such a good Batman, such a good actor, really talented. And I just see the NFT thing. I'm just like, fuck me.
Yeah, and that's my thing is that I'm just like, God, he is incredibly talented, but so are so many people out there that we have never heard of before.
Exactly.
And it would be great if he was using all of this instead of like helping create an AI tool that will replace the opportunities that these people could have to actually try to find and uplift these other younger talents. Like all of us here know how hard it is trying to break through, you know, just this huge cluster of incredibly talented people that are all here on the internet.
Well, you know what I think?
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? I think it's talent can amass success, and that's what happens. And then success can amass to ego, and then ego leads to shit like this. What we need is people with less egos in the industry. But the thing is, the industry is fucking built on egos by people with egos. Like, yeah, we consume the product and we like the product and stuff, but I think it's also a part of this whole, you know, you can appreciate a person's work, but don't pretend you know him, you know? Like, I like Troy Baker's work. I don't like Troy Baker if this is what he's like, you know? Like,
yeah, I gotta admit, dude, like that guy, he's never given me a reason. Like, I didn't know any of this stuff before that. I've always loved his work when I've heard it, but man, like anytime I've seen him on Kind of Funny or stuff like that, like just gave me like these really gross vibes. Like in general, I don't really like Kind of Funny anymore. Anyway, they all seem like bros at this point. It's just gross.
That also reminds me of something I wanted to talk about. Okay, one thing I want to quickly also note is the people making these NFTs called Edicapunks. You're fucking garbage.
Wow.
Like,
yeah. No. That's some bullshit right there.
The Edicapunk people are fucking slosh people.
And the Stanley ones as well.
Yeah. But I wanted to also just on the subject of like Sonic and NFTs. We some of us will recall that Johnny Gioeli on Twitter like posted that he wanted to get into NFTs and he got quite a bit of backlash. And what I really like is that he actually listened and decided to withdraw from it. But like I emailed him at the time as well, and he legitimately emailed me back saying like, I hear you and I appreciate all of you, you know, hearing everyone loud and clear, and we don't want a single fan upset. So thank you so much for caring enough to write me happy holidays, and we won't be doing the NFT thing. That's awesome.
You like to see.
If only more people would be willing to listen like Johnny. Like, what an absolute legend.
Yeah. It's so weird because like we get so caught up in our bubble and you see all these people like just railing against NFTs and you just assume that's like the general consensus. But like if you go into any of those NFT profiles, it is alarming how many people participate in this. And something I've kind of realized because I'm working on a thing for April, and I've downloaded a couple of phone games, and I quickly realized like, oh, yeah, no, they've been training us to do this for a while. Like I kind of get why NFTs exist because the way cell phone games kind of are built up, it is all about farming. It is all about collecting digital nonsense. And like just God, man. They're like, oh right, that kind of reminds me of Pokemon. Oh, that kind of reminds me of games in general. I'm like, oh God. Like we've just been It was just gonna be distilled down to this, wasn't it? Fuck everybody. God damn it.
It's like the thing is, this planet is at a fucking precipice with climate change.
Yes.
This planet is
Yeah.
not okay, you know, and like we're really approaching the point of no return if we're not already there. And like, you know, I'm almost kind of like, it's not worth having kids because they're going to be very adversely affected by this thing. They probably won't even make it to old age at this rate. And it's like, we do not need fucking NFTs coming in and trashing every good thing we're doing for this planet, you know?
It's already undone so many things in like 1 year, and it's
now,
like
celebrities normalizing that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
it's
Yeah.
like I didn't even realize how bad some things were. Like apparently we're just running out of helium on this planet, and I didn't know it until Smiling Friends brought it up. It's like, God,
Oh yeah.
I saw
Yeah,
the
dude.
pilot of Smiling Friends. I fucking loved it. I like the fact that what I'm hearing from you is that they have a little sort of almost an educational message in there as well.
it's a really
That-
funny show.
That's the best. It's not sarcasm. Satire is like there's a truth in there.
Well, to be fair, it was kind of a throwaway. It was like a joke, but they also just kind of like they took a second, and the characters were like, "Wait, is that real?" They just kind of like stop everything, look at the phones, and he's just like, "Yeah, no, that's actually fucking happening. Like he's actually telling the truth."
No,
And
but
it
that
was,
makes me respect that show that little bit more, knowing that they're doing little bits like that. Like,
yeah,
that's cool.
I only
Uh,
knew about that years ago. Like I had that kind of explained to me, and it was probably just a YouTube video. And I did my research. Like Jesus Christ, it is one of those things nobody talks about. Like you could go to any party store and just do that. Like I've been to multiple parties where they just release balloons into the air. Like that's a bad idea. But Jesus Christ, man, yeah, no, our planet's dying. Bring back the freedom fighters is what I'm getting at.
yeah, and it's it just makes me think about all the people that were always going on about they would criticize shows or movies or anything for having an environmentalist message, and I'm just kind of looking back like, yeah, maybe we should have listened a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah, rather than bitching and belly aching on the internet, maybe do something about it. I mean, the truth is, though, that a lot of the environmental problems on this planet aren't down to the you and me of the world either. It's down to a lot of corporations, which is why it can bother me, like when shows get on like a high horse podium about it and start screaming their message home at you, when you know that that show is probably shilling for multiple corporations, or is sponsored by multiple corporations, or is produced by a corporation that is contributing to the problems that are destroying this planet.
You mean
Well-
like the Lorax being sponsored by like what was it?
Car,
yeah,
a fucking car.
Um,
Jesus Christ.
the Lorax, what a fucking shit show, man. But,
yeah,
like,
it was Mazda. That's what it was. They were being funded by Mazda, and it's like, all right.
yep, brilliant.
Jesus. Well, I love that we're talking about all the things that Cirrus would talk about while he is taking a shit.
Yeah,
We did good. We're doing good on this platform. We're entertaining people, and we're throwing
Yeah.
out little knowledge.
But I think we might have. I mean, I hate to do this while Cirrus is gone, but we really, I'd never know how long he's going to be. He's taking
We
a
should
shit.
probably just sit here and twiddle our thumbs for a little bit, make a little small talk until he gets back.
Well, we've been doing that though.
So that's not fucking small talk. So let me take the lead. Lead.
All right.
So, how's the weather over there? You know, like
What?
It's the weather. Oh, he's back. Okay,
There we go.
I mean,
Good job,
come on,
Pup.
pup. If you wanted to get into small talk, we could always start talking about your dick.
Jesus Christ.
That is the most obvious place you could have gone.
That is
I-
why. That's
you-
why he's funny when he does it. He does
Yep.
more your mama wizard and.
I just had the fucking wasted screen from GTA. Just
Uh,
Fucking Christ. All right. Well, guys, is there anything else we really want to kind of discuss? We're kind of just falling all over.
we'll
the
be
place.
launching our line of NFTs this summer.
Damn it.
Oh, that's so good.
You can get a Zavok NFT.
That's delicious.
well,
Wait,
We,
super chats.
Yeah, super chats.
Oh
We
my
had some
god!
super
Wow,
chats,
we've been gone way too long. I completely forgot to read super chats. That's
Okay,
embarrassing.
it's our first show back. You'd be forgiven. All right, let's get on with this then.
Yeah. All right.
All
Go
right,
for it,
so
Pup.
I'm finding it. I'm finding it.
right under the Spider-Man Steelbook.
I got it. I got it. It's right. Just give away our group chat. Okay, so Fated Shadow XL or XI, I'm not sure what that is. I hope it's XL because like Fated Shadow extra large, but like sends $5 saying the other content creators' impatience and crazy takes is getting to me. Not gonna lie, I think that's in reference to the Sonic Frontiers design.
All right.
Willie Dix.
Willie Nix, come on, Nick, you're up next.
I was reading a tweet. Which did you just do Sony's?
Yes.
We did Sony's at the beginning of the show, I believe, didn't we?
Wait, which one did you read then?
I
think
read
we had
Shadow
another-
XI.
Faded Shadow.
Yeah.
Did we do Sony's?
Oh wait,
Oh,
wait,
We never
wait,
did Sony's.
Wait, we didn't do Sony's. My
So
bad.
Nick-
I'll
Nick
do
will do
that. I'll do that.
Sony's.
Yeah, that's what I was getting a little bit thrown off there. Sony threw $5 Canadian bucks at us. Thank you. Liking Zavik and the Zeti is an unapologetic pleasure of mine. No guilt in my soul. Dude, I keep telling you guys, and I know I'm not the only one that's been saying it. Y'all got another 5 years. All you adventure motherfucker whiny bitches on Twitter, you got another 5 years.
I'm interested.
These kids are coming. They're coming for you hard.
The
And I'll be
Unleashed
like,
kids already came. Look at Pup.
Is there? Would you fuck off? And then the other thing. Okay. So something I'm thinking though is there anyone whose guilty pleasure is the game versions of the Zeti though? Is that what?
I would imagine they're gonna get. You're gonna get a few of those, and they're gonna get more and more and more. They didn't offend me, man. Like out of everything else in that game, I thought Zavik was probably the least offensive out of most everything else in that game. I didn't leave it with what I was like. Well, I guess that's Bowser, kind of.
In reference also to the other thing you were saying, I've been saying it for the longest time. Every Sonic game ruins someone's childhood.
Yep.
Yep. Sonic was always good at ruining your life.
All right, Cirrus, you're up with a Fated Shadow one.
Sure thing. Thank you very much, Faded Shadow, for the $5. Those who scream the cause the loudest understand the least. I don't think that always holds true, but
I think it's in reference to the Sonic design again.
In this one, yeah. In this one, it does. I do think it holds true.
People are probably not 100% sure what it is they don't even like about the Sonic Forces model, other than the fact that it's in Sonic Forces.
It reminds me of classic Sonic. And as we know, the original games ruined everything about Sonic.
Flying Battery Zone is horrible.
Sonic 1 is objectively the worst Sonic game.
Anyway.
I mean, it's not that high.
Shadow. Have you played Shadow Shoot?
No. No, I haven't.
That's a real game. Made for Java phones.
Wayne, it's your turn, bud.
All right, so Aiden F with $10. I can't stand how great the Encyclopedia is. Missed you guys last week. Yeah, the Encyclopedia. I know 2 of you have gotten your hands on that. Sadly, I have not.
I still don't have mine yet, but I think it's shipping from the States, so I think that might take a little longer.
Yeah, probably. It is holy shit. I'm glad I got that on sale, dude. It is. Yeah. Well, Merry Christmas. But
Thank you,
Jesus Christ. Wayne, you're not part of the show. I bought these 2 while it was on super sale. I'm very sorry. I'm not spending $80 on you, bro. I love you, but I'm not doing that.
Do what? Oh no, I can get my hands on it later. It's fine.
Not if you're not a part of the show, anyway.
I like looking at it now, though. Like looking at the size of it, like I think I spent like $40 each for us on that.
Jesus,
what she said.
I'm
But
not
like,
gonna lie.
it is.
It
Like,
is
as soon as you have it
massive.
in hand, it is insanely huge,
Dude, so when I got it, I had 2 Amazon packages come in at the same time, right? I had a fidget cube for Raz, which is tiny, small, dainty, fits in your palm. And then I had that. And I had no idea what the fuck it was at first. I was just like, this is heavy. I don't know what this is, but it's heavy and it's big. And it's shaped like a package of clothes, but clothes do not have this girth. And then I opened it and I was like, oh, I know what it is. Yay. but the thing's massive. Holy fuck. Dicks.
Sonic Kraken.
All right, I think I'm up. So, way past cool kid. Hello. Sends $4.99. My guilty pleasure is quoting the Sonic movie from start to finish and playing the Game Gear games. Also, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is my favorite. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is my favorite of the Sonic cartoons as well. Like, get out of here, you know?
You know what? I might have to add. I don't know if it's actually going to happen or not. I may or may not have to add a guilty pleasure once I finally get around to it. I didn't have a Game Gear as a kid, and I know a lot of us like retroactively have like looked at Sonic Blast and be like, this looks like dog shit. But back when Donkey Kong Country was the bee's knees and seeing CG renders in games was cool, I thought that was like just from screenshots, I was like, wow, I can't believe a Game Gear is doing this.
Well, let me give a little background. Have you actually played it?
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, and
Okay,
I'm wondering if that old like tiny baby brain is still in there, and I still have some kind of appreciation for
No,
it.
so I'm with you in that it was kind of the paradigm of the time. My problem with that game, I can look past the janky ass controls. My problem with that game is one level, and that's Blue Marine Zone. I can't get past it. It's shit. It's a pipe maze, and I hate it.
I have no idea yet. I've not played it, but I'm
See what I
very
mean.
curious.
You'll see what I mean. I'm telling
But like
you.
that and the Gamecom Sonic Jam, just back in the day when you're a really little kid, like, yeah, it's black and white, but when you only have screenshots to go off of, it was like, whoa, those are the Genesis sprites. Can it run like a Genesis? That'd be crazy. No.
Is that the one that runs at like 5 frames per second?
It is so bad you literally cannot beat it with Sonic and Knuckles. Like you cannot get up one of the ramps, just a simple ramp, because the frame rate just fucks with your momentum that badly. Like you cannot get up the hill.
Jeez.
It is amazing. I love it. But yeah.
I like how the things we love tend to be the things that hurt us the most.
Well, we are Sonic fans. Let's see here. All right, so you just did the guilty pleasure. Way past cool kid gave us $1.99. Thank you. Also, good morning, boys. Good morning. It's still morning for me over here.
Good morning. Well, it's evening for me here. Night, actually. We're approaching 8 o'clock.
Good 3 o'clock.
And you both posted this, so only one of you, or Cirrus, you can only read one of those ones if you want.
Yeah, Dreamboatin, thank you for the $5. Thank you for also mentioning my sexual awakening as a child, Rouge.
I wonder where that came up in a guilty pleasure conversation talk.
We've all caught you looking, don't lie.
The next one, though, for Wayne, I mean, it's a follow-up.
Just another pleasure to add to Cirrus's Rouge gallery. Anyway, yeah. Way past cool kid, US $1.99. One should never feel guilt over Rouge. No, I think everyone can just kind of agree. It's hey man, Rouge is hot.
I need to get a Rouge outfit for my character.
Oh, don't. Enough.
Wait, yo.
It's bad enough we can't avoid the fucking calamity you currently have.
God.
So
Cirrus,
way
I
past
really
cool kid.
need you. I really need you to consider when pup is telling when it's pup telling you enough, buddy.
I think we really need to reevaluate the whole hierarchy of chaos in here. I feel like I'm really, to be honest, one of the less chaotic members of
I
the
feel like
group.
Wayne has supplanted you at this point.
I think he means the past.
I think
it's
very
like
subtle in his when he just drops it and leaves the room. Like he just kind of crop dusts us with madness every now and then.
It's just I'm never trying, so it's just kind of like calmness until at some point it
That
just kind of takes
said,
over.
I feel like I kept my crown with the little Wayne Epstein run earlier, so
Oh God.
that's at least something. So we've got Wayne,
We'll have a
why
poll
did you-
for it later.
Why did you post this fucking smiling friends picture?
It's funny.
That's what I
I'm
burst
gonna
out laughing about
fuck.
earlier.
It's
I'm
funny.
gonna fuck. But okay, so
Love it, Plinkett doing it, man.
oh, I
What's Mike's
recognize
last name?
I recognize Plinkett immediately.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. What's Mike's last name?
It's so good to hear him.
It's so good to hear him in something outside of YouTube, dude. He's so.
Oh, I
fucking
love
funny.
his voice.
It's
I do too.
Stuklaska. Or no, Stuklasa. Okay, Mike.
Anyways, so Way Past Cool Kid sends another $4.99. Gosh, you are generous
You've
today.
been very generous today. Thank you.
My guilty pleasure is being a woman. Whoa, you're a woman? Oh my, what are you doing this
I
weekend?
think every time.
We've established this.
Approaching her 30s this year. Wait a minute, you're not a way past cool kid. You're a way past cool adult.
You're way
Which means,
past the hill.
What
You're
are you
dying.
doing this?
I'm
What are
in
you
my
doing this
30s.
weekend? Are you lost, baby girl?
Jesus Christ.
My
God.
guilty pleasure is being a woman approaching her 30s this year who has a cringeworthy amount of encyclopedic knowledge about the Sonic franchise.
There's nothing cringeworthy about that. That's
It's
endearing.
everything cringeworthy about that. in
Nope.
the real
My
world.
number is
Nope.
911. Call me.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, we for real though, way past cool kid. You are way past cool. So thank you very much. We really appreciated.
Wait,
all the
wouldn't being
generosity.
way past cool suggest that you're not cool?
Whoa. Anyway,
It all comes full circle.
Why can't we get way future cool?
The worst part about being faster than the speed of light is that you can only live in darkness.
Come on in, Nick, you're up.
Otis Small gave us $10. Hey, Sunsetters, ya boy here. The first few lyrics to Belle Biv DeVoe's Poison have always confused me. Do you guys have any mind goblins that have plagued you for several years like this?
Yes.
You know what? I was
Yeah.
just thinking about this last night, and it is Sonic related. I have not seen this episode since I was a child. I'm not kidding you, 4 or 5 years old. I have not seen this since then. The country music episode of Sonic Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. That
Oh,
fucking
yes, Sonic
song.
song.
I can still remember that word for word to this day. I cannot stand it, but they did their job. That still bothers me today. I cannot get it out of my head. I've not listened to it once. I want to make that clear. I've not listened to it once since I've been like old. But I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm gonna make sure I'm just not crazy and I've actually heard it correctly. But yeah, that's mine.
My mind goblin right now is strong enough to have it all, too weak to take it.
You're what?
Mind goblin these
goblin.
nuts.
Yeah. I can't believe it's happened to you twice live.
Ah!
I quit. I quit. Either Wayne goes or I do.
You'll both be
right.
fucking in the closet in like a month. You'll be fine.
Otis Small, US, $10. I've always heard Spider-Man and Frieza in full effect, but Spider-Man would never work with Frieza. Also, would you mind goblin these nuts? I don't. What the hell? I don't understand that sentence.
Jeebus. Also, I didn't say what my
I
mind
love-
goblin was.
Well, no,
is the-
yeah, I just love that Otis went and just did that to themselves. Like I just
Yep.
spent $20 just for that payoff, and I respect you for it.
I hope it was worth it, Otis.
That is what you do with adult money.
Oh, testicles.
Goblin these nuts.
So, Black Yakuzu 94 sends $2 saying, "Welcome back, Kings. Good to see you." Thank you, fellow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But we did skip past Cirrus. Did you have a?
Do we
Mind
want to
goblin?
know? Do we want to know?
We have to.
So it was for years when I was a kid. My cousins introduced me to Ranma 1/2, and my mom would never let me watch the show until like I started pirating it on LimeWire. So the fucking theme song for that show, despite only seeing the first episode and the Christmas episode of the OVA, the theme song for it was stuck in my head for 8 years until I finally had the tech to steal the show for myself.
There you go.
If you've ever heard the theme song for Ranma 1/2, it's stupid but catchy.
I can't remember it.
Right, Cyrus, yep, Nick, you're up.
All right.
This one from Sony.
Yep. With $5, welcome to the Zavik Appreciation Club. I've been waiting.
Wait. Hold up. I think I have one of those.
A mind goblin?
Where it's just like that thing that just kind of like was in your head, but you never really understood like where it was from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just figured it out.
Oh.
It's the season 2 opening to fucking Nash. I don't know. Like, I guess like my parents were watching it when I was a kid at one point, and I heard the theme song and I thought it was catchy. And I never.
Suicide
is painless.
It brings on many
opening. That's the
ending.
No. Nash.
Oh, Nash, not MASH.
Yeah.
Okay, never
No,
mind.
MASH, and that was the closer to the series. No, this was season 2 opening of Nash.
Sounds like a
Sunset
rip
City.
of MASH.
Changing lives, man. Like, we're making some real interesting self-discoveries today, boys.
My mind goblin is just the Green Goblin. I hear his voice in my head regularly.
I'm gonna get that ass, Spider-Man.
Give me that
ass,
He's about the money,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. It's the Mets. Let's go, Mets. Gotta get a home run. Love the Mets.
Should I get the next one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, from Letteric, the principled NFT owner of Sunset City. Thank you so much for your 50 United States dollars. You guys are. I'm not going to take this one from Wayne.
No, you are, because he does it all the
But you
time.
have to say it right.
You guys are pretty wizard, as the kids would say.
Congratulations, Cyrus. You've finally been uwooed. How does that feel?
I want to die.
Yep. He'll come to that later.
You're
Pup, you're
officially
next.
not a virgin anymore. Congratulations, buddy.
All right, your turn, Pup. No, Wayne. I'm sorry. I literally got confused with the
Oh,
wizard
sorry.
line.
Yeah. So that Jordo, $5. Good to see the whole gang back together. Hope y'all had a merry Spidey Christmas, fellas.
Sure did.
Sure did.
It was good. It was good. Busy, but it was good.
You know,
I'm glad it's over.
Gonna take more than sex to get rid of my virginity, that's for sure.
What the fuck?
Huh?
Pup, continue, please.
Virgin is a mindset, I'll have you know.
Virgin was a grind set.
The Sigma Virgin grind set.
So Smacko sends 5 penises and says, okay, so my guilty pleasure is, hear me out, the fucking Knuckles Sonic Archie Sonic arc.
You have a
Nostalgia
stroke there, buddy?
glasses.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Nostalgia glasses are too strong. Also, this monkey is mine. Shut up. No, for starters, it's not a fucking monkey. It's a hedgehog. Secondly, it's not fucking yours. Letteric owns it.
It's not a rat. It's a hedgehog.
I really hope you take some pride in like how viral that little thing has gotten. With
I do.
nobody
I just-
knowing where it came from.
I wish people would stop saving my NFT. I mean, Letteric's NFT. The injustice in this community is just getting ridiculous.
God, that's so good. Yeah, I'm very interested to try and take a fair approach to the Knuckles arc when we covered in speed reading. It's really hard to not have it tainted when nobody can really talk about it without talking about Ken Penders in general. And I do think that's an interesting wrinkle on it, but I mean, I am curious to go back and try and approach it from the era it was created. And
Also, I wanted to say, just stop. That NFT was not yours to give, and LS Mark, that NFT
my
is not
God.
yours. Okay,
God.
it belongs to Letteric. Okay.
I'll get the NFT police involved. Bill Gates is my dad.
My dad works for Microsoft.
It really is truly an internet moment when you see something that you create. Well, I didn't create. Up created it. When you see something you create on Twitter posted by someone else getting more likes and retweets than the originals.
It made me want to leave YouTube forever.
Should you actually do a video about like the case of the stolen NFT and just like trace the history of it all the way back to you and just be like, but none of this fucking matters.
And
I'd
don't
love to do that, but
don't
people
give
would
away
think
a
the
little try hard. That seems.
and don't give away the origin until the end.
Yeah.
It was me all along.
It was me,
It was
Steven.
me. It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at high speeds to make it look like you nutted at only a woman's touch.
I fucking love that video.
Oh God. Sonic Fox gave us £5. Nothing like starting the new year with Sonic Discourse. Hope y'all are doing good. I think we are. I mean, we
Did we
we
miss
started
some?
off with ramblings.
I know, we
missed
missed
two
skipped
above that,
two.
yeah.
How did you manage to skip not one but two super chats, Nick?
I didn't know you guys post. Oh wow, I'm sorry. I didn't update our chat.
It's not
log.
good enough. It's not fucking good enough.
You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah,
Coming
because
at
we
you,
had the
Jake.
one from Mr. SP.
I'm
Mhm.
keeping
It
these.
said my guilty pleasure is Sonic 3D Blast on Sega Genesis. Any 3D Sonic was exciting in 1996.
He's not wrong. That's
He's
why I
not
like this
wrong.
type of stuff so long or so
Yep.
much. Yeah. Wayne.
So we have Mr. SP with $10. My guilty pleasure is Sonic 3D Blast on
Are you
Sega.
serious? Are you
Are you
fucking
okay,
serious?
Wayne?
What?
You said that was oh wow. No, you really
Someone wasn't paying attention.
Any 3D Sonic was exciting in 1996.
Wayne!
Wayne,
Just
Wallace,
did that.
What?
Wallace, we read that one.
Did I have a stroke? I think I just like blanked out. I didn't hear you guys say that.
You're
Baines
so
John's
wrong.
having a strong.
To be completely fair, I have.
I'm sorry, I got a
done
message
that
from
before.
work and I was reading it. Okay,
you've got Danzems.
Danzum, $2. What?
He spelled Premi de Remi wrong. It says Premi de Remi, but
I
Creamy
almost
de
I
Remy.
almost called it Preemy de Creamy. I don't know what that is.
Get that dreamy creamy going.
Preemy de Remy crossover? What the fuck is that?
no, Premi de Remi is a Sonic tuber, and he's got his following and everything. He's he's got some very strong feelings about it sometimes, but he's entertaining as hell, and he's a nice guy and everything. But like, the man is not happy with the state of the franchise. Although
He's got some infamy around him for sure. I don't know if we've debated before on Twitter or not, but I've only ever had, I'd say, pleasant interactions with him. Yeah.
He's a nice dude. He feels quite strongly about it, but he is a nice dude. And to be honest, like, I would rather watch Premi de Remi rant about it than some other folks that are just gonna whine and stuff, because he is at least quite funny. Like,
I mean, I to my knowledge, he's never done anything like real world mean to people. So that's whatever. I mean,
No.
complain about the song franchise all you want. Who gives a shit? That's what makes it interesting. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Like, let us know. Anyway,
Pingus.
I think we're finally caught up.
So we all get to go home. Because none of those silly super chats are holding us up. We can all just go now.
I swear to God.
Yeah, so I really hope no one
God
sends
damn
one.
it.
That
So
does make
what's
me question
everybody got go?
I'm just flattered that Bagel God thinks that I have the power to fire Wayne.
This is a true democracy. We need Wayne to vote on firing Wayne.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, guys, I think we should probably wrap it up. It is getting a little bit later in the day, and I do have a video to wrap up and give to my patrons. So if you want to follow more of my stuff, I'm at Game Apologist. I appreciate people actually watching, because my last two videos have not been Sonic related, and definitely not doing like Sonic numbers, but like enough to keep me stable. So I seriously, anybody who's on my channel, thank you for giving that stuff a shot, because that's that means a lot to me. I think it's healthy for all of us to do other stuff outside of Sonic, so we don't get sick of Sonic. So thanks, even though I talked a lot about Sonic in the Christmas Nights video. But yeah, outside of me, Cirrus, what are you up?
I am
There we go. We got one. We got one in.
Oh my god.
Avenger X with the 1000 CLP. You got me to thank for that. Says, have you read any Sonic fanfics? We've all surely read some Sonic fanfics at some point. Right?
No, I've
Oh
not.
man.
I mean, if you
even if you
count
haven't just, like, stumbled on it?
creepypastas, then I have.
Have you not at least like read one just because you hate yourself, or read
No.
one just for the
Nah,
meme?
man.
No.
I don't. Look, I'm a Sonic fan. I haven't dedicated my existence to the franchise. Like, I've got better fucking things to do.
You don't
Yeah,
belong
dude.
on this fucking show, guys.
But
Way
you
to go.
see,
We need the
worth
creme of the
reading.
crop.
That's why you don't read the fucking comic that comes out every month.
It's because I'm not made of money, you know?
Oh my god.
And I try to avoid pirating things.
It's just $4.
No, you don't.
It's just $4. Those $4 stack up, Charlie Big Potatoes. Let me
Not
tell you that.
once a
much.
Charlie
month.
Big Potato.
Okay, how many months are there in the year? Okay. Fucking find this out,
12.
okay. All right, what's 12 times 4?
48.
Let's see how many-
$48 a year.
Yeah.
Bob, how many times have you eaten out at Taco Bell and McDonald's?
I-
if you want to play that
And
game.
I mean, look, shut up. It's not up to you what I do with my money, okay? I've got other things to prioritize.
Pop, I will fucking
you just
screen.
did the exact same thing that Wink did.
I will fucking screen share comics with you at this point. Pop.
I swear to God.
And we got Danzum back again with $1 What's your favorite Sonic fanfic?
The one you wrote. There
The
we
one
go.
with the sex in it.
Sonic
So all of them.
Chapter 22.
Sonic forces his dick down your throat. A POV adventure.
All right, for real though, like if you have read Sonic fan fictions, is there genuinely any you've enjoyed, ironically or otherwise? Because I don't know any of them.
I'll be honest, I haven't actually read a Sonic
I
fanfiction now that
swear to fucking God.
No,
This is why when you're like, guys, I was only joking. How the fuck are we supposed to know?
Some men just want to
because
watch the world
I
burn.
realized at the last minute, okay? I don't know everything about myself at all times. I sometimes have to get into the Rolodex.
I think you just like instigating chaos. I think that's just what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yes, I am Dr. Rabon.
And I think that's a subconscious thing for you too. It's like you don't even half the time you're like, oh shit, did I just do a chaos again?
Okay, listen, this
The
isn't
god
fucking
of
group
destruction?
therapy, okay? Why are you fucking telling me what I am, okay? Let's just fucking move along.
I think
you
you
becoming
are
the
all of
Joker?
me.
If that's the case, that means I'm also your breasts, and like I don't know how I feel about that. Feeling just a little sweaty thinking about that.
Bravehearted hero.
I know exactly how I feel about this entire conversation, and none of it is positive.
That penguin's arm's gonna fall off. We got to give him a
So-
break next episode. Get the Christmas decorations down next time, okay?
I refuse. As
So,
long as my
guys-
Christmas tree is up, these stay up.
That turkey's starting to decompose. Like if I
Jeez.
turned it around and you saw the other side,
It's dead.
you would
That's what
see-
dead things do, pup. They decompose.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to eat them when they're decomposing, are you?
Tell that to fungi.
Okay, fair enough.
Channel Pub,
You're kind
what
of
do you got going on
fun.
your channel right now?
Well, explains
Oh,
why
well,
you take like a monumental shit every time we do a podcast.
That does
Rotten
actually. It's all
food.
those little maggots making their little way out of the tunnel.
Oh my God, Puff, what are you working on?
So on my channel, as you guys know, I don't tend to plan my videos ahead. They tend to be things I do on the fly, so I can't really say necessarily what to expect. But I am doing a live stream series on the Batman Telltale series, and I will be playing through both season 1 and season 2. And the reason I'm doing that, and not like the Arkham games or anything, is I feel like you can get an impression of what I would be like if I were Batman through those games. They give you a level of control you don't get with other games, while simultaneously having the control of a DVD menu. So yeah, I really like Telltale games, and I can't wait to play more. So be there or be square. I said that without following up with a joke. That's incredible.
Well, squares don't mix well with Sonic, so don't do it, you bitches.
Well, what about a Square Enix Sonic game?
Please.
No, thank you. No
Please?
fucking thank you. Absolutely
If it's
not.
I would
if it's like the Guardians game, like
It'll be NFT to shit.
No.
It'll have a giant season pass.
Stop hurting
It'll
me.
Have chapters upon chapters split apart, and then they will say how disappointed they are in the developer when it doesn't make a gajillion billion dollars.
Okay, listen, man. Let me just say one thing. if they announce a Sonic Forces season pass coming tomorrow that can extend the game out to fucking full length, I would buy it. I'd fucking buy it.
And you're part of the problem. But anyway,
I just want a good long game, okay?
I know, and I like better than just waffling about in a giant open world. Give me something better to do.
Oh, you're really dusting my doilies today. I'm just fucking with you, but
Who's
God.
dusting my oil?
I know dusting my doilies. It's a
Dusting
reference
my
to an old Sonic commercial.
Is it really?
Yeah, where there's that news reporter lady, and it's like, why can't Sonic be more like that nice boy Mario? Oh,
Oh,
he
yeah.
really dusts my doilies. Like,
Oh my
can we
God.
bring those adverts back?
Not the exact words, but
They
you got the
did.
spirit.
They did for one of them for Mania.
They did do it for Mania, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
They
can
were
do
very
it
funny
for,
about it.
For a Sonic game that isn't shit? I'm joking. Can it
I
do it for
will-
a Sonic game that is 3D?
I will shove copies of Sonic Mania down your throat until you burst.
And it'll be
Do
the
it, I'll get
collector's
to keep
edition.
them. Make them the collector's edition. Great, I got a
I
Sonic
will
Mania
make-
collector's edition.
I will
can't think of
make
a downside.
them. I will make them the Switch copies so that they taste like Switch games.
Again, I really don't give a fuck what console it's on. I own it on the Switch. I've got 3 copies of Mania as well.
You don't understand what he would put up his butt just to own it. All right, don't tempt him. Don't
Listen,
tempt him.
if someone said, okay, you can have the Sonic Mania Special Edition statue for free, but you got to try and fit it in your mouth, I would give it a go.
I don't miss you guys anymore.
Jesus Christ!
It,
All right.
it always comes to this. I come to this too.
Hey, I knew that was coming. Oh fuck, I did it too.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Wait,
everybody.
no,
Like
Nick, what are you
Penguin.
working on? What are you working on?
I
Yeah.
literally did it first.
Okay, then Cirrus, what are you working on?
I'm
You
halfway
did
through.
that too.
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, fuck
Yeah,
you.
Nick, stop trying to silence women. God.
I want to die, man. I
want to get to work on my video. Get this fucking over with.
Look, this is a podcast or sitcom. It's
Quick,
both.
quick.
I am.
quick.
I am.
Go on, hurry up.
I am.
Now!
I'm gonna die.
Go!
Wayne is dying. I am
Just
working
stop
on
fucking go!
every single time I start talking. You do this. I am in the middle of working on a Resident Evil 3 video. There we go. Boom. Done.
Which one though? Which one? Remake or original?
The original. I've already done a video on the remake about a year and a half ago. This one is all on the original.
All right, your talking time has expired. Right, go on to Wayne.
I'm working on a review of The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction and why the game is the only good Hulk game and why you should play it because it's a lot of fucking fun. And then I'm going to release the supercut of my 2021 Metroid month. I've already done the 2021 in case you just want to watch them all in one place. And once I finish up with that, I'm really, really, really excited to work on a video about the original Digimon world for the PS1. If you like Digimon because you have good taste, be sure to look forward to that and watch it out and share it once it's a thing that exists on YouTube.
Hey,
I
thank you,
love-
Wayne. End podcast.
love-
Goodbye.
This is. It would not be the end of our show if we didn't have the chat going like, "What is happening?" Right?
Just click the goddamn end stream button, Cirrus.
I gotta pee talkies.